Hello, everybody, and welcome.
Hello. Thursday date with Pusa. Wine with Pusa.
You're run for
Thursday date. Hello and welcome to our Thursday day live with Pusa.
How you guys doing?
Can you believe it's Thursday already?
No, I can't.
I can't believe it's Thursday. I thought we just started.
It's scary, and it's how this week has been flying by. It was so much done, and so much feels got to get done. But hey, this is our time to put on the brakes for a little while, sit back and enjoy each other's company. And it's great to do that with you guys. How you doing? Yes, Natural Journey. Happy Friday to you guys. I look into the future, my little crystal ball from down in New Zealand. How you guys doing?
On your lunchtime.
So cool. I find that so nice. I love it every time.
Yeah, you spend your lunch hour with us. That's really, really nice. I really appreciate that. Well, how is your guys' Thursday? How is it going? It's the end of the week almost.
We have an unboxing tonight coming up from one of our channels from a past interview, so that's going to be fun.
Yeah, that's going to be very fun. And also we're going to have an amazing guest. He is a Canadian. We go Canada. I have to have flags or something. He's a Canadian from Ontario.
Yeah.
And he is a blogger.
Audio sounds a little off. He says, all right, let's see here. Oh.
Maybe because it's not switched on.
No, it is switched on. Or you would say I don't hear you. How's that? Wait. Is this any better? Camaro time. I know there's a bit of a delay, but we're just going to make sure.
Hello. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3.
She's wound and ready to go. I hope it's better.
Paste.
Unbelievable, folks.
If anybody can say they can hear us. Still the same. Oh, because I probably plugged in a microphone, not in the headphones.
Yeah. Hey guys, how's that?
1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3.
Testing.
Mars, Venus, Mars.
Potato sack.
Pineapple. So how is it now? Yeah. Somebody answered outside the window.
That was nice of them.
Well, anyway, so can you hear us? Real low.
Volume is really low now. This is gonna be one of these nights. Is this are you trying to trick us? Testing.
Camaro, you're the only one.
No.
I was gonna say maybe you should turn the volume up. No, Panic Videos also has the same problem.
That's the right one. What is going on?
No, I know. I'm just trying.
Oh yeah.
We do thank you for telling it to us. As you have all heard before, we are trying to put these videos into podcast. Eventually,
how's this? Is this any better, guys? Here, let's check our meters. Seem to be pretty good on this one. We can't put it on the highest one because you got 3 settings on this one. We can't do the plus. Okay, there we go, guys. Yeah, that's what happened. I brought it down the first time. We can't put it on the highest one because then Bottle Caps complains that my wife's name is my wife's dialogue is piercing through his head like nails.
Mars, right in a space, men and women coming with grace.
What are you on tonight?
Well, Rich Davis asked if I can rap. So.
Oh dear God, don't ask that, Rich. I love having you here way too much.
And Flub It Epic said that I look amazing today. Thank you so much. Okay, so there you go. So tonight we're gonna have a surprise unboxing of our mail. My hands are so itchy and red from doing this all day because we have this huge box, and I want to unbox it. And then we're gonna have amazing Canadian again. Go Canada! Guest. He is a comedian and vlogger. He also do commercials and videos as his day-to-day work. And He's an indie filmmaker. Yeah.
That's pretty cool.
His indie movie has participated in Toronto Indie Festival last year, as well as Alternative Movie Festival last year. So quite amazing young man. Lots of questions, and I'm sure he also can answer some questions about video editing because that's his specialty. So that's later on this hour. And, well, do you want to tell them about yesterday?
Yeah, sure. So we ended our live stream, and
I went to watch Geeks Paranormal because that's important.
So this was a real exciting. This is unbelievable. Only us could end this way. So we ended our live stream last night, and about, I don't know, half hour, 40 minutes later, I was out of the living room. I actually went to the facilities, and I was not in there barely, felt like a minute, and I heard screams, and I mean ear-piercing screams, and it sounded like Xenia's voice coming from around our daughter's room. So I ran out in pure terror, because she doesn't scream like that ever. And I come and look to the doorway here, and here she is, like, huddled up on the couch, screaming, "There's a bird in the house, there's a bird in the house." And the chances of it being a bird are about as good as what you figured. And sure enough, it wasn't a bird. Of course, we have some construction going on here, and 2 holes weren't properly patched up in the meantime, waiting for the contractors to come back, and it looked we had a bat in the house. Yeah. So he was flying around. He got caught up in the curtains here, and yeah, it was fun. And tried to do everything to get him to go out on his own. Tried to work him out, and anyways,
wife meantime screaming.
Bloody
murder, hiding under the blanket.
When I'm trying, yes, and then coming up finally,
telling geeks under the blanket. I thought it's a bird, it's a bat. Oh my god, I'm under the blanket, and my phone's still on there live.
And yeah, so that was so we had to deal with that for the next hour and a half, and then finally got that out and everything cleaned up and stuff like that. So I won't go into too many details for everybody there, but
yeah, and then we had to cover up all the holes because I'm, of course, freaked out. Now I think the whole house is full of bats out of the attic. Yeah. So we had to go and do that, and ended up like till 2 o'clock in the morning we were doing that. So we are nice and fresh today. So thank you for the compliments. About
like a daisy.
Because that hasn't been too much of a sleep tonight. So that's our story. For those of you who wondered about my tweet yesterday when I said bat in a house.
Yeah, and we're almost 24 hours being bat free. So there you go.
I hope.
We are
still not.
I gotta say, bats are easy to find because they always go to the top. They're always gonna walk the edges.
Yeah, and I mean, really, like, to thinking about that afterwards, it's not like it would be able to do anything. They don't bite. They're scared, and things like that. But the legends, the stories, and all that. I thought it's a bird first, so it was quite exciting yesterday night. Rich Davis is asking about your first tattoo experience. I don't have any tattoos. Tattoo free.
My first one.
34 years, tattoo free.
Well, that's good. I actually like that. I'm glad she does, just because I doesn't mean I want anybody else to have them, but I don't know if you can see, that's my first tattoo. I got them, but I'm not really big about these things.
You want me to move the camera?
No, I think you can see from there. That's enough of that thing anyways. I got that. That was I was 19. I'm 44 now. The colors actually stayed pretty good on it. I'm not like I say, I'm not big on my tattoos. It's not unpopular for me to shave and every so often and looking like, oh yeah, I got tattoos. I had that though since I was in my teens. It was from a Tama drum magazine in the 80s, and I had it, kept it. I cut it out of the catalog. It was this original design, I believe, if I'm not mistaken, was airbrushed on a leather jacket in the catalog, and I kept it the whole time. I always wanted it. I was a drummer, so that was my that's my first tattoo. And so I'll show you once again. I got this thing on a Thursday. Then I drank till Saturday and got this one, even though the tattoo artist didn't want to do it. She thought I was drunk. Then I got, so that's my Jim Morrison one here.
Which oftentimes get mixed up with me because I used to have like shorter hair like that too at some point. And well, actually, it was when we met, I had short hair, and people oftentimes asking, and that's me.
That's right.
And I don't know.
Some people think it's that one too. So depends on the day.
Yeah. Aaron the Bay Tourist, hello. We look wonderful. Maybe we should sleep less.
yeah, maybe. Maybe. As long as it doesn't involve having to get a batted here every night. You know?
No bats. No bats.
This replied comment is incorrect. Hey, how you doing? It's been a while.
Welcome back.
God, and you sitting there all gray and without a mod. There you go.
By the way, we didn't do the roll call. We were so caught up in our technical difficulties. Thank you, by the way, for telling us about it. Let's see. We have Ermin the Paid Tourist. Where are you at? Gaming Dude, welcome back.
Good to see you.
Rich Davies with the questions. Love questions. Terrell, the original, of course.
Gaming Dude, you don't think you should just do like a fast mention and then do a thing about it?
No, because I don't know. Like, it's a... Yeah, I did mention.
Oh, you did?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, it's a...
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. It's good to see you too, Gaming Dude. How are you?
You're in Pennsylvania. Okay, you were in New York yesterday, weren't you?
We're not looking for pity, guys. Just the one thing is, since we started doing like 6 nights a week live streaming, it's been hard to get back to everybody's channels when you guys are putting out videos. So I hope you guys could still keep coming. We do want to see them. If there's something we missed that you really want us to see, please just send it, like a tweet us or something, and we'll go over and look. It's not we're ignoring it, and we do watch probably a couple hundred easily a week.
Oh yeah, that's how our entertainment content is you guys' videos. But the most sure way to know that we're gonna watch it to let us know that you have a new video is tweet at us or message us on YouTube.
I never want to miss you guys. Like I never want to lose connections with you guys, and that's why I want to say that. I can't stress that enough. That's one of the most important things of all that we've done together. But especially you guys have been on the show. You know, we got something that we'll always have to talk about, and I don't want to lose that. So if we ever miss something, just let us know. It's never purposely done. It's just, it is a lot with the live streams, especially this many a week, and especially with having guests, because it's not just us coming on talking, it's the research and building, plus 2 kids, plus a bit, running. And like the rest of you guys, just really busy days. So let us know.
Kilos and Kilos in the gym. Finally. I was waiting for that. Congratulations. Good job. Keep running. Keep pulling those weights. Go at it. Gator the Legend.
How you doing?
How you doing? We were talking about you yesterday again about your baby.
Any updates?
Well, hopefully not. It's a planned cesarean. So
no, I know, but still things,
still things can happen, but you don't want anything.
You can still give us an update or something.
Yeah, just say no, and we're gonna have
she's a little
full of mind.
I don't know. She's I think she threw it into overdrive tonight or something.
Well, adrenaline from yesterday from our bat story.
Yes.
And by the way, the link that I've just posted is a link that you can use to add us to your YouTube Messenger if your YouTube has been updated with it, because I find it's a very good way to share videos.
I love to have you guys on it. So if you haven't clicked it yet, please do. We can always say a quick hi on there. Or there's another way if we're connected on that. That's another great way you can send us an update on a video you've done or something like that.
Yeah. How can we live stream every day? How you guys do it without going insane? Try to make my rounds as much as I can. Well, it just
we're not sure.
It's like the same as you go to work in a way of, not that it feels like work, but because it is scheduled at the same time, the planning goes into it, the research and stuff. So part of the day goes doing that. So it's kind of, it goes into the kind of things that we do to prepare it, and then it ends with live stream. Sometimes, of course, it's harder, like when we don't sleep at night because of the bat. But we are always excited to have guests on and to talk with you guys. And we miss it on Sundays when most of the times we're not on. In fact, last Sunday we weren't on our channel. We were guests on Cornlife Network's channel. So we literally had 7 days a week.
It was busy.
Yeah, so that was quite interesting.
Busy is an understatement, but you know what? We do it because we love it. There's nothing to look on it as a bad side. It's all amazing. It's just a time management thing. That's all I mean by it. Sometimes, like I was always so adamant on watching every single video that anybody commented. If they commented 5 times even on that, I watched 5 videos at least, usually 6 because I always did one more with everybody. But we're still trying to do it, but we're just not enough days in the hours in the day sometimes.
Hello, Christopher.
How you doing, Chris?
Yeah, how you doing? And Gator, thank you for the update. Fingers crossed. It all lasts till Tuesday. And yeah, talking about videos and watching videos, I wanted to mention a very special thing. Silver Retro Collector, our friend Tony, did a shout out to us in his video, inspirational YouTubers chart, top 14 YouTubers who inspired him to come back onto YouTube and continue creating. So thank you so much for doing that. It was we're really honored when you guys do that. It's really amazing. This is the link to his video I'm going to be posting. So definitely check that out and give it a like.
No problem, Neil. That's not a problem. Hey, you're working your glutes. That comes first. Don't worry about the spelling stuff. We're all good here.
There you go. There's a link for Silvetro Collector, or Tony, how we all know him.
One of the only names I remember from channels. One of the only ones.
Yeah.
I don't know why that was 6. It's not that they're even hard names. It's just I'm awful by doing that.
By the way, Neil, I know you can't see us, but well, maybe you can. I don't know if you're using your phone for that. I'm using our cozies for my cold coffee today.
I don't want them all being used. She's using that, and I'm going to probably put the other 2 away because I want to keep them as souvenirs. But I'm glad one of them. They do work good though.
Oh yeah. Cool. They're very cool. I love it. My hands are not freezing now, so that's quite.
Coriolis Effectman, how are you doing, my floating in space head, ma'am? How are you?
Heads in space.
Yeah, I like from Pigs in Space and on the Muppets or Pigs in Heads in Space.
Yeah, thank you, Cuffs, for coming in. That's great you made it. You've been busy as well, I've seen.
Oh, Paul Michael David Bain, how are you?
Hello.
Good to have you back. How are you doing tonight?
And those guys, please, press that like button, push that share button.
Oh my God.
And my favorite part of this, if you're too lazy to do that, go over to our Twitter account, the link in the chat, and retweet our latest post on this stream. And if you are too lazy to do that, that's okay too. But the more the merrier, right?
What a great catchphrase. Insult your audience. I love it. That really brings them in.
Gina Wells House, hello. Welcome to our channel. It's so nice to see some new faces as well as our regular audience. Welcome. Our audience is very friendly, very welcoming, and very stress and drama-free. So pour yourself some coffee or a drink of your choice, sit back and enjoy the show. So we're going to continue on with unboxing. And after that, we're going to have our special guest, PaperFree Chris, on. And vlogger, filmmaker. Yep.
And we can't forget we have an unboxing coming any moment from, very soon. Are you ready to do it now?
Well, whenever.
Yeah, let's do it now. Sure. Why not? Oh my God, Irvin. You're talking to a former truck driver. Believe me, there is not much lazy about a truck driver.
Yeah, school is taking your time. Believe that. Our middle son is graduating from elementary this year. So that's quite busy with exams right now. And Patricia Sprinkles, hello and welcome too, by the way. So
thank you, Day Gaming, dude. We appreciate it. All right.
Yeah. Are you
Okay.
ready?
Yeah, let's make it happen.
We're funny.
Can I have the knife, please, though? I worry about you with that.
Yeah, Chris already asked me if I would better have scissors. I
Yeah.
wanted to show the
Okay,
box.
you can show the box.
Yeah. So we received this box. Andrew went to the postal office today.
I want to cover the price because it's
I
terrifying.
was shocked.
Yeah,
by
you
the
guys
way.
shouldn't have did that.
This amazing big box that I could barely hold came from. Are we gonna keep the suspense? Oh, you were.
I thought you were going to say
it.
who it was from first.
Oh.
Oh my God almighty.
He doesn't trust me with the next.
Suck it
So
on.
it came from Panic D Videos. Thank you guys. Round of applause for you. Thank you so much. This is amazing. This is very, very amazing.
You know, people on unboxings bring out their favorite knife, like barnacles and stuff like that. He calls his Batman knife and stuff like that. Peter McKinnon got a switch that he brings out. We don't have that here. Just as a side note, it's not a flashy opening, but that's because we don't want to take away from the magic of some people who are so kind to send us this.
Yeah, that's very, very, very. We still have one more that I am partially, secretly covering up. Because it's going to be a separate video on that. And there's going to be a whole video on that.
Yeah.
So I can't talk about it just yet. But there is one more coming soon.
I just want to try and open it from the top. Now we're going to do it.
He's trying to get my patience rolling.
That's right. This is true. This is the first thing I've ever even opened on this.
I know, because I always have to get my hands on it. Well, you could unbox it. They can't see anything.
They're going to see in a second. I want to make sure there's nothing personal here. First of all, the thank yous go to Panic D Videos. How cool is that? You guys are so awesome. So
I
amazing.
just dropped the link in chat as well, so go check them out if you haven't just yet.
This is so cool. Oh my God. This is going to... Okay. First thing we got. I'll let you explain those other things. At the end.
I will explain this after.
First thing we got.
Oh my goodness.
This is so cool.
Oh, this is so cool.
Oh
I love it so much.
That is so amazing.
Oh, guys, you're so sweet.
Panic D Videos is absolutely awesome. And look at this one. Look at that. Check that out, my friends. That is so cool. I love this.
That's amazing. That's so cool. I love it.
Oh, shit. Even for...
Oh.
You guys are unbelievable.
Oh.
They're so amazing. They're such an unbelievable couple. How cool is that? So you know if you got
for Andrew to study. They say.
Okay. I shall. There's so much stuff in here. Holy God Almighty! You guys are crazy. Yes.
Down the rabbit hole. Hello, we're unboxing Panic D Videos mail that they sent to us.
Look at this.
Wow. See?
Yeah. It sounds a couple of them.
Wow.
Yeah, a couple more. Guys, this is I never got this much for Christmas before. Our Haunted Travels, St. Augustine, Volume 1. Look at this.
That's the book that they both written. Oh my God, that's going to be my bedtime story. Thank you so much. I'm so looking forward to reading it. That's so cool. Thank you so much. My goodness. Steph Apple, hello. Very nice.
And you'd think we would be done, but no. Why we had the coloring pencils was because there is the accompanying coloring book.
Wow.
Isn't that?
This is so amazing. I love coloring too. Can I too? Can I too? Wow. So it has a picture of the location and the coloring underneath it. Wow. That's so neat. This is so amazing.
What a great idea.
Wow. This is amazing, guys. Thank you so much.
Oh, and I'm sure they didn't sign it and thought the check, of course.
Yes.
Signed copy.
Signed, sealed and signed. Wow, that's amazing. Thank you, Sean and Marianne. Thank you so much.
If you want to make people feel like they belong, and no, we are not done yet. See? You guys, this is so unnecessary, but so amazing. Look at that, guys.
Panic DVDs, Parapeeps. Yes, we are official Parapeeps. We got the certificate. We are official Parapeeps clan.
And I believe, as you can see, so they're winning me over to the side.
I believe that's right. I believe that's spot on. Oh my goodness.
Oh my God, guys, this is so incredible. How cool is this? You guys really shouldn't have. I mean, and on top of it all, Xenia had won their contest.
Yes, I entered their Panic videos have live streams as well as their own videos of haunted places. They investigate different locations, historical locations.
And I was hoping that, sorry, Marianne messaged me. I gotta check this. I was wondering, and then I forgot to open it. She says mine is different.
I want to be.
Look at that, guys! Look at that! Look at that! How I'm sorry to say it. How goddamn cool is this? I'm sorry, I gotta say it. That is so amazing.
That is amazing, guys.
Oh, if you only knew how much I love this. Oh, you guys are the best.
This is so amazing.
I love it. I love it.
Oh my goodness.
Oh, this is so amazing. How cool.
I'm just touched.
Oh, I am. You have no idea.
That's amazing.
So yeah, so that's for me. And then this one.
Yeah, so I believe, and Andrew wants to believe. For those who don't know, I do believe in all paranormal and spooky things, and Andrew, well, not so much, and similar to Panic D as well. You know, Marianne is a scientist, so she more is a she's like
she wants to believe.
She wants to believe, yeah, and I do believe.
Yep.
That's so amazing.
Oh, that is so cool. I love that, and I wondered for a moment, and then I was wanting to get to the tickets and didn't click for this is just unbelievable.
Yes, that's so cool. Go check them out, please.
Yes.
They have videos, as I was saying, of cool historical places where they investigate the paranormal activity, as well as they do live streams at night where they listen to spooky sounds. And they have live streams on Saturdays where they play out some gifts. And I entered one of these live streams and entered their contest.
I'll be back in a second.
And I won this amazing thing that I don't even know. I was so excited. It's on. I don't want to. I want to be careful. Oh, you guys, thank you. You put it in a Ziploc because this is unbelievable, guys. Once you see it, what is it? This is so amazing. So what it is, it's return pass tickets for World's Fair from, I believe, 1892. Correct me, Panic D, if I'm wrong. Wow. This is so amazing. I can't believe I actually am holding this in my hands. This is amazing. I will definitely have to frame this. So there you guys can see there's 2 tickets This is the World Fair where the first display was the first time all lit up by electricity. This is the first World Trade Fair where brownies were invented with apricot jelly on it. That's a trade fair where the Ferris wheel was first time put up. So many inventions, so many things, so many historical figures have been there. I don't want to take it. I know it's a bit fuzzy, but I don't want to take it out of the Ziploc.
No.
So this is gonna definitely will find a special place. It's gonna be going in into the frame and on the wall. I can't believe 1893. Yeah, thank you. 1893. 120 years. Amazing. I really can't believe I'm holding something that somebody else held 120 years ago.
I love that.
This is crazy.
Yeah. Oh.
Thank you guys so much. You are our Santa Clauses. Thank you very much for all the amazing
Go put on your
things.
shirt. Go put on your shirt.
Yes. All the amazing things that you sent us. I'm gonna go and put the shirt on.
Between this channel, I even feel bad sometimes when we ask is if you can retweet it and stuff like that. So just having you guys is already more than thanks enough. It's an honor. But all this stuff, like the mail calls, we always watch YouTube channels and we'd see them get mail call. I think that's so neat. And never thought we'd ever have it. And we never asked for it. And you guys have been sending in all this stuff. It's unbelievable how good it makes us feel. To go through the trouble and the effort to do this. Guys, I love this shirt so much. Oh my gosh. There we go. I love it. I absolutely love it.
Perfectly.
I know.
Sean was worried about the sizes.
Oh man.
So they fit right on.
You nailed for both
of us. So there you go. Now we're officially in a parapeeps gear, ready to hunt.
Your belief is more three-dimensional than mine.
This is so amazing. Thank you guys so much.
Isn't that
and again,
so cool?
we are still in the process of figuring out how to display all the items behind us so they can be all there, seen on our live streams. This is so amazing. Thank you so much. Marianne, you guys are amazing.
Yeah,
you
exactly.
are the ones that are amazing. Thank you so much. This is amazing. And definitely, when being on one of your live streams, definitely going to be supporting this. I just love it. Thank you so much.
No, this is. I don't want to wear I want to wear it tonight because it has to be worn at least once, and I want to have it hanging. I want with the rest of the stuff, all the stuff, and also from Hail and Heathens and Juliet Miranda,
exactly.
Hosier, Gaming Dude, all these people sent stuff so absolutely amazing.
Thank you.
Never thought we'd have people not only interested in what we say, but to do something like that. If that makes any sense.
Well, Steph Hoppel believes.
No, there. So she's I think Xenia team player.
Funny enough, we do know Santa. Okay. And yes, we will go together into that time machine. I'm sure it's has to. Oh, my glasses right there. Sorry, guys. Yes. So, and definitely those guys, please, that haven't seen the videos of Panic D, go over and check it out. It's awesome. It's amazing. It's hauntingly amazing.
I like that.
Yes.
So I guess we'll send off our link. I just realized the time.
Yeah, we got caught up in unboxing. It was so amazing. And I lost my mouse. There you go. Yeah. So right now we're gonna be turning to our guest, Chris from Canada, and talk all about vlogging, filmmaking. I'm sure he's going to crack a joke or two.
Yeah.
He's fairly known as a Canadian comedian.
Donnie went and checked them out today, Donnie, and I'm like, you guys would be,
Oh, yes.
they're a good fit right there. Yeah.
Exactly. Exactly. So we're going to be sending the link right now to our guest.
Yes, Patty. Xenia got the note. I haven't had a chance to read it. Xenia read it. I got to try and read it after.
Yeah.
We'll save on shipping. Yeah, you guys are nuts on the shipping, guys.
Yes, my goodness. I couldn't believe that. This is so crazy. It really shouldn't have to.
If you guys had sent just even the cards with it, and that would have been more than enough. You're nuts, but can't thank you enough. We really are touched.
Yes, panic too cute and kind. Exactly.
Yep. Oh, you're planting watermelon, Wonga.
Ooh, by the way, the question, I have seeds from a melon, and me and the kids want to plant them. Do you think there's a chance something is going to grow? And if so, what I should think about when I do it? Is there something special I should do with the seeds? Mind you, the seeds are inside the melon. They have been dried out and waiting for the time to be planted. So I don't really know if it's any fit. We can read Ksenia's, I believe, better than Andrew's. Wonder why. Haha, welcome in city. I never miss a beat. So we're on standby. Fingers crossed everything works. Throw them and they will appear. Well, no, I can't. I wanted to plant them in the I have flower boxes and some of the how are they called, pots? Yeah, flower pots. Yeah. So I just wondered if there's anything I should add, or is there a certain is it like dry or wet or things like that? And I'm a wannabe green thumber.
You're good in the garden. You like it?
Yeah, I like it, but I wouldn't say I'm great at it. I just love doing it. I love putting my hands in the earth, in the mother earth, so to say.
The mother earth.
Yeah. So and we have apple seeds also, and we have garlic ends dried out. I just wondered if I have to make them wet first.
Yeah, wet paper towel and sit them overnight.
And then plant them without the towel.
Yeah, the wet towel gets them moist enough to start the germination.
Okay, perfect. Yeah, well, that's why I wonder about river, but it's already gone probably. But I will do what Marianne is saying.
He said, check out my channel. Daughter shot her first gar. Yes, they will grow in a raised mound.
Okay, perfect. Thank you. Don't overwater. Oh, that's perfect. Because that's the biggest reason why something dies under my green thumb.
I grew up in my parents having a garden all the time, and I literally have a black thumb. What I touch dies in the garden, so I'm better off as kept as far away from it as possible. I have nothing to bring to the table in gardening.
Bio teacher has a black thumb, really? And are you guys still on 2 separate couches? I see.
Right.
Yesterday, Marianne had to go and get her keyboard away. It was starting to get too naughty. Just buy a clove of garlic, split into its parts, and stick them in the ground. Yeah, well, that too. But I have the ends of the garlic greenery. I don't know how it's called. The green part of the garlic. So we snipped off the ends where the seeds are at the end of it and dried them out. So now we want to put them in the ground. Never try that. Just want to try. Melon.
Like I said, black thumb. No help. Not a bit. I wish, but not. No, I don't.
Not sure if it's nice enough out there. Well, today is still hot. Today was supposed to cool down. It does now. It looks like it's going to be a little bit rainy, hopefully tomorrow. But it was quite hot today. Muggy hot and not too much of the wind. So, yeah.
Anybody that wasn't here at the beginning, well, our guest should be on any moment. If you've seen our tweets and that after we're done our live stream, we had a bat in the house here last night because we have some construction. They didn't close off the ceiling well. So we had an interesting hour and a half after we left you guys last night, debatting the house, I guess is the best way to put it.
Yeah, it was interesting.
I was out and I went to the bathroom, and then all of a sudden I just got in there, and then Xenia starts screaming like blue murder, and I come out thinking something happened to our daughter or something like that. I know she got a bad scare, so I came out in a panic, and she's like, "There's a bird in the house! There's a bird in the house!" And and like the past signal, but I just seen a shadow. I had my doubts. I was be lucky enough it'd be a bird, and sure enough, it wasn't. I had we have an open living room, so I had to tarp off go in when they're doing the construction, bring out the tarp, put it over the doorway here because I didn't want that thing going all through the house. And then once that was done, then the fun began of trying to coax that thing out, which didn't go very well. So the pressure mounted to get it out more.
Wind City, you'll get people in trouble. I see. Made good sell life to shave his beard for 25 likes. Oh my god! And his son was shaving it off. Oh my goodness! And LAJ, not such a good day of filming.
Yeah, sorry to hear that.
Yeah, it's I hope it's just because of the heat. And tomorrow it's going to rain, so fingers crossed for that. Although it's not too good for filming either. You hang upside down like a bat from the trees. I'm sure there are a few of them in that tree house. Glad you're all safe. Yeah, well, I mean, it was just more scary than anything. I mean, it's the tiniest thing, but you know, legends and stories. Can you get the bat in the live stream next time?
Yeah.
I did. I tried, but that's not gonna happen. So
no.
So that's why you have to live with my tweet. But next time, hopefully there is gonna be no bats.
Yes, yes, so we can live without that. I'm not so much for being live stream when I'm doing stuff like that. That's I appreciate the enthusiasm.
Yeah, they probably have to be all rated. That's why too.
yeah, exactly. That's
and
another
me
thing.
Screaming and yeah. But it was funny and scary at the same time.
Sorry.
So once again, we're just trying to set some technical difficulties here. Seems to me that lately it has. Lately, it has more issues for some reason. It has a different extension here. See? This is different than what you have here.
Yeah, he's invited, but that won't work in some of this. I'm trying to tell him. So just keep chat. I've got this.
Okay. Okay, sorry. I'm trying to figure it out. Get flying squirrel in your house and watch the fun begin. Well, no, I mean, it almost was the same thing. It's just smaller. I mean, flying squirrel wouldn't be so easy to get out. I have had birds in the house before, and usually they say that the bird in the house is like for news, for some big news. I don't know what bat in the house is. Do you have any ideas of? Oh,
I'm sure.
Of what the bat in the house means?
It means you gotta get it out. That's what it means, plain and simple.
Steph Apple, by the way. Maybe you know. You should know what the bat mean coming from the witchy, crafty place. Being a witch yourself a little bit. And okay, and also now I'm gonna put the link again for our YouTube Messenger for those of you guys who haven't added us yet. If you have noticed, now we have an updated YouTube with a Messenger option there for some people. I know it hasn't come out for everybody just yet, but if you have it, please add us and share with us your videos. Good luck to come soon. Well, thank you. I hope so. We had a bat in the school a week ago. They never found it. Well, that's not good. I don't know if we'll be going back to school after that. So yeah, so this is our link here. And so please add us. Wind City, I think I went to get some drinks.
You sure? Sorry, guys. I apologize. We're just having a little bit of a technical delay here. I'm going to try both. So, Google Hangouts is a little finicky is an understatement.
So guys, what do you have for the weekend planned? Let's chat about that while we're trying to solve our technical difficulties.
I apologize, guys.
What do we have on the weekend? Well, Montreal is starting its festival season. So soon, I think next weekend, our Formula One is starting. Yes, next weekend, in fact. So Formula One a weekend in Montreal, if you guys are a fan of that. But usually there's a whole bunch of different activities around that downtown as well. And it kicks off the season for different festivals, like Just for Laughs is still going to go on, and Jazz Festival, love that. Lots of different festivals. St. Catherine's always closed. There's always one after another. Mural Festival, by the way, that you can see in one of our cinematic videos that Andrew covered. Really beautiful video and really amazing street art on the walls that they create. Last year, they actually created a special dedication to Leonard Cohen, who actually lived here. What's going on tonight? Well, we are waiting for our guest and us to figure out the technical difficulties on Hangouts. Our guest tonight is going to be PaperFree Chris. He's an indie filmmaker, blogger, comedian from Canada. So that's what we're doing right now. And in the meantime, we're just chatting about what you guys' plans for the weekend. And if you all have planned any big events through the summer that you want to attend. Florida Pirate Adventures, hello. Hello. PaperFree Chris, you're in the chat. Hello, hello. North American Trains, welcome, welcome. Always nice to see the train guys. I really hope that Andrew gets to film some trains once the weather cools down a little bit. Oh, Panicky, you finally got that messenger to show up. Yeah, it's kind of in a weird place. And I don't know why did they make it so complicated to do it. Like once you set it up, it's fine.
It's a typical YouTube thing. It's a great idea. And so they got one of the weirdest quirks to get connected I've ever seen, but it does work good though.
Driving, and more driving for Urban Debate Tourist. Yeah. Dolby Dad, your only plans for this weekend are working on the YouTube channel. Are there any new videos coming up? And if so, what it's going to be about?
I seen Laj 5126 said why he's having a bad day. I understand now why the head I was installing on he dropped the head he was installing on an engine. That's not that makes her sorry to hear that.
Yes. Yeah.
Sorry guys, yeah, we got a few little
Florida Pirate Adventures.
Army matey, always good to see you here.
I don't know, Chris, if you can hear me. Make sure that you are in the Google account that you're using for your YouTube. Yeah. But sometimes that can be an issue.
That is true.
If you don't work on it, it won't go anywhere. If it doesn't rain, Florida Pirate Adventures will be hiking. Oh, that's cool.
Nice. So new video coming up soon.
Yeah, and Panic D Videos is going to have Let's Talk Paranormal Live at 5 p.m. Saturday, talking about Thomas Edison. By the way, they have just released the video today of collaboration between them, Panic D Videos, and Googles by Doug, who made the Google of us.
Doodles by Doug, not Googles.
Doodles by Doug.
He searches for people. That's his thing. He does live streams Googling people.
Maybe that's $1 billion idea. Oh my god.
Oh,
so and then oh my god, sorry.
That's a good one.
And so they just released the video, so go and check that out too.
That's
Definitely
too funny.
It's great to see when YouTubers collaborate together like that. I think it was an amazing idea to do it that way. And Florida just uploaded a wildlife a couple days ago. Oh, cool! Have to check that out.
Chris, if you can hear me, a while ago when you sent us the link, that meant you'd be starting a chat. That's why I didn't accept it. Maybe then you. Oh, I think we got somebody here on.
Yep.
How's it coming? He's calling us directly. I don't know if it's going to work or not because it's coming only through my phone for some reason. Hi. Oh, this is.
Did we just get this to work?
Yeah, well, but we're not quite there yet because you got me and it only came through my phone for some reason.
I don't know, man.
I'm going to show you to everybody so at least they know you're there.
Hello, everyone.
That is a first. I don't know why that happened.
That's so weird.
Can you hear me okay? I'm using an external microphone right now. So.
Oh, we can hear and see
yeah.
you, but the only problem, you're only on our phone.
So we can't really show you to the rest of the people at home. That's the hard part. I'm just kind of more baffled. I've never had this one happen before. You invented new territory, my friend.
Well, damn. All right. How can we get this to work then?
This is a good question. I'm completely baffled. I don't know how this really happened the way it did. You're using a PC or Mac?
I'm using a PC.
PC, okay. Maybe the best advice, I hate to do that, is maybe we'll shut you down and restart and let me know the moment you're on because that will flush any calls you had. Make sure you hang up any Google Hangout calls and just restart quickly. And then as soon as you're back on, I'll send you the link and we'll try from there. Sometimes a fresh start helps it.
All right, sure. That sounds good. I'll close everything down here.
Like I said, I'm impressed. You baffled me.
I don't know, man. This is new for me too. So good start. No technical difficulties. Who needs?
See you soon.
We like to have fun here. All right, sure.
And Chris was.
This is okay. Whatever. Let's restart.
Okay. So yeah, restart. Let me know on Twitter, and then I'll send you the link.
All right. Cool. Peace. See you in a moment.
Oh my god! And Chris was tweeting out today. Let's hope for no technical difficulties.
I know, and I'm like,
poor guy. No, don't jinx it.
But I feel bad because we usually do dry runs when we can, especially if somebody's never used it before. And we dropped the ball on that one today. We had a lot of stuff. We had to be out of the house a lot and that. So I feel bad for him.
That's weird. Why would be able to do that there and not on the computer?
I do not know. I'm completely baffled by that one. Oh, we're not in under.
What happens if you unlog out of your phone?
I don't know. If
you log out of your phone, he won't be able to reach you there. So wouldn't it force?
You keep the chat going. No, I gotta go.
Maybe there are any tips on doing that. I don't know. Okay, Brocknex, welcome in. We are in the midst of getting our guest in. We got him through our phone and not our screen here, so we're just trying to figure that out. Stand by for a bit. Irvin the Big Tourist tried to download those video editor. I all set to download, but I just had an empty zip folder. Where were you downloading it from, I wonder? Is that DaVinci Resolve that you were talking about? Because it depends where you download it from. I mean, there are so many places to download it from. And where are you doing it, on your phone or on your computer? North American Trains is going to work on the layout. Oh, nice.
Yes.
Nice. We love that. Google Siri. Google Siri, Doug, where I'm going. Yes. Maybe it should be a new name, you know? Doug instead of Siri. Why there's always women? Alexa and Siri and whatever else is there.
more engaging. Voice more.
Well, but apparently a men's voice are more trustworthy. Like I think we already talked about that, mentioned before, but like from voice perception point of view, commercials with men's voiceover are perceived more trustworthy. Product is more perceived as more serious, and women tend to buy it more if it's men's voiceover. Even weird enough if it's women's like hygiene products, but the men's voiceover is over the commercial, women would choose that instead of the commercial with the women's voiceover. So that's quite funny, but that's how the brain works. And I'm trying to look up here for Urban the Paid Tourist. Trying to get some parapeeps to come and join. Well, I hope you get some from today as well. We have our certificate. Now we have shirts.
That's so cool.
We're so official. It's so cool. And One Cat, One Fish just put the new video on. If for anyone interested in fish finders. Yesterday we were talking with our guest, Southern Food Junkie, about fish echolocators, I think they're called. Is that what you're using as well? Yesterday's talk was supposed to be more about food, but it did include also some hunting and fishing conversation as well. If you're interested, check that out. Hello, PSPR Airy. Hi. PS Prairie. Oh, Prairie. Are you from Prairies? Is that? Am I reading it right?
PSPR Erie.
Yeah, Prairie.
No, that's not Prairie.
You joined Panic D Videos. Yay!
Excellent. Good stuff.
That's great. That's great.
Keeps getting the message that they're trying to get them to go to like I keep bringing up the link like get started with Google Hangouts.
Well, does he have an account with Hangouts?
He must, because he just called us with one.
Yeah.
So, Chris, are you sure that's the email, the one that you gave me? That's the one that's associated with your account? I came up, so I'm sure it's good, but that's the one you're using right now? This one is a baffling one.
That's really.
Urban
to Pay Tourist. There's a link for DaVinci Resolve where you can download the free version. It really shouldn't have an empty folder there. You have to unzip it in order to use it. But I hope that's where you were getting it from, because that's where you should be getting it from. Let me know if that works. Oh, he's a parapeep. Oh, he's already is. Oh, that's cool. That's cool. We love your guys' supporters joining us as well.
I am so confused by this.
Hello. Hello.
Hi. How are you?
Okay. I did something different. All right. Hey, I'm on.
We got it working. Amazing. Thank you.
Okay. No, okay. I don't know if this solved the issue or not, but I just switched. I use Firefox when I go on my Twitter and YouTube and stuff like that. Just switch to Chrome.
That was your problem right there, sir. That's exactly it.
All right. We're live. We're doing it.
We are live. Perfect. How you doing?
We're killing it. I am good. How about you guys?
Oh, we're doing great, and we're even doing better now. We got you on here.
I know. Oh my goodness, that was.
I forget.
Like, my heart's pounding over here, being like, "Come on, I'm embarrassing myself."
No.
I'm kidding.
That happens to people. It just randomly happens. So we just too bad. I know it's your first live stream
This is in fact my very first live stream. I've never live streamed anything on my own. I've never been on any other shows. This is it. This is the first time.
A great voice for it. My God Almighty, you're right into it.
I hope that further on it's going to be more smooth.
I hope so too. I mean, it's the first one. We knew there were going to be some technical issues, right?
Yeah,
It's like the rite of passage in a way. You got to just go through the technical issues, then you have fun with it, right?
I like your outlook,
thank
my
you
friend.
for patience.
Yes.
You know, it's fine. You know, you deal with it and you move on. It's cool. Anyways, how are you guys doing?
We're doing good. We're doing good. It's was very muggy here today, but we're gonna get some rain tonight, so hopefully we'll break that. So
You guys are in Montreal, right?
yeah,
Yep.
that's right.
Yeah. Okay. We're getting some. I'm over down in Southern Ontario right now, so we're getting some rain tonight too. That's a proximity thing, though. I think.
You're getting it already?
Yeah. No, I don't know if you can really hear it right now. Well, actually, it's pretty light right now, but we are supposed to be getting some rain tonight as well. So whatever we're getting, it's coming to you guys. So look forward to that.
That's the way
Perfect.
Thank
We
you.
need it.
Need that more rain, eh? So I see you guys have some pretty nifty t-shirts on right there, eh?
Yeah, we
We
were
got our-
unboxing Panic D Video's mail today and got these amazing t-shirts among other items as well.
No, it looks really cool. I caught a little bit of it. I kind of tuned in maybe 20 minutes into the stream, so I saw you guys kind of open them up and put them on. It's a fun thing when you just get free stuff in the mail from fans. It's really cool.
Wrap our heads around people sending us stuff, and we're gonna get a shelf ready to put all the stuff on.
Oh yeah, you guys should absolutely decorate your background with like fan art and shirts and different things like that.
We actually just repainted our walls. We had like rust orange before that. So
Oh yeah.
we did it last weekend, so we'll have to figure out how
It's
to
a whole
put
new
that
canvas.
on. Yeah.
I approve of the white. Rust orange, not so great a look.
Mm.
Yeah, when I was in college, I lived in a room that was what I can only describe as piss yellow.
Oh my goodness.
That's what all the walls were, and it let me put it this way: you got used to the headache that it would induce just looking at a bright yellow wall. But I wanted to paint that wall white a few times, and I never got around to it, unfortunately, because I didn't care when I was in college. But yeah.
Exactly.
if this is your home, you should paint it. You should absolutely do those things. So that's so fun.
What college did you go to?
I went to McMaster. So you guys might know that. I don't know. I'm not actually looking at maybe I should pull up the stream on I'm doing dual monitors right now.
If you bring up the stream, just make sure right away you pause the video so you hear us through Hangouts, but the stream will keep going. But
it was playing. I just muted it.
Yeah.
But I haven't paused right now. Yeah.
Yep, that's perfect.
The chat will still keep going, but I will update you if there's anything. If you don't want to focus on it, that's fine too.
Well, I'm just gonna pause it. It's just there. That way, again, I can see the chat. Like,
Perfect.
what's up, guys?
Especially with dual mute monitors, it's so much easier to do that. So
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
So you can watch and listen us through Hangouts.
this is so cool. I'm glad we got you finally have all the kinks worked out. And I never thought of Firefox because that is an issue because of course it's Google based, so they only want you doing it with Chrome.
Mm-hmm.
I know, but it was bizarre. Like I could. It worked when we did it through your phone.
I still
got
can't.
to work.
You pulled a Houdini, my friend, on that one.
A once in a lifetime type thing, eh?
Well, you know the Canadian expression: you slip one past the goalie. Usually, it's used in different ways, but that was
Exactly
one of them.
right.
Well, for those who don't know and who are in the chat, maybe we can start with you telling a little bit about your channel first, because we are just highlighting the channel, but then mostly talking about people behind it. So besides the channel, but we would like to highlight your channel too, because you're a new and upcoming YouTuber, I see.
Well, I'm relatively new. I've only been doing it since this year. So I think I started this particular channel in January, and it literally came about. A little while ago, I did a video on failure and stuff like that. This channel came about because of a failure I had, which was in the film and television, movie and whatever industry. Usually during the winter, the industry just dies. There's not a lot happening. Yeah. People are kind of in the off season. They're going on vacation. And people wait till the warmer weather often to shoot up here in Canada.
Right.
So I was looking for just a job. Like I applied for a bunch of different internships, different things like that. And I came close to getting, I think, 2 of them. But they just slipped through my grasps. So I didn't end up getting them. So I was out of a job. So I was just kind of like, fuck it. I'm going to just launch up a YouTube channel and have fun with that pretty much. So what it is it's just a time wasting thing pretty much. It's something that I have fun doing. It's something that allows me to practice my editing, practice my video skills, practice having fun and socializing with people. And you know, I am not a social media person. I'm really bad at it. I'm slowly getting better at it. I'm slowly getting better at being in front of the camera, you know, the fun things like that. So that's what the channel is. It's basically just my channel that I upload things when I have spare time and I have fun making them. And it's beginning to become a bit more of like a thing now that I'm like building relationships and getting to know people. But just for now, I still kind of view it as like a side project to everything I'm doing. It's something that, again, you know, I can get out a video in a day or two and just throw it up there, and it's fun and interactive and, you know, different things like that.
I like your attitude towards the platform, and that's what we've been preaching a lot to people, is it's something, and when you do it that way, the best you come through. Because we don't have the budgets to make grandiose videos, so sometimes it's better just to be yourself, run with it, and I think people connect with you better, and they bond with what you're doing a lot better.
Yeah, no, I totally agree. I think, you know, certainly at this leg of the race, you know, it's one thing when your channel takes off and, you know, you're doing it as maybe as more for a living or as like a career, but just at this leg of the race, you know, I just do this for fun. Like I'm not making any money off this. This is just something that I have time. Let's do it. You know, I don't want to spend my time doing nothing. I've done a lot of that in my life. I just want I'm interested in more doing stuff and experimenting. And, you know, my mind is also just weird in the sense that it just goes off on weird tangents, and I can get things out in video form sometimes. So
yeah. Well, that's what I'm going to say. Then it's a great outlet for that.
It's a great outlet just to get like creative buildup out of you, if you know what I mean.
Yeah, I agree. I agree.
I want to make a video on a Scrappy Doo cult. I can do that on YouTube, you know?
Oh, that'd be awesome. I like that.
I already made a video. That's the most recent one I made. It's just I was just an idea. It was like, let's take an annoying character like Scrappy Doo and make him into like a cult. And that's what I decided to do. So, you know,
so funny. Yeah. The latest video, if you guys want to go and check it out, that was so funny.
And I mean, even the concept, like that's what I meant by that, was now you should really run with that. I think that's a great idea of like kind of going out of the box. And
yeah, pretty much all my videos, with the exceptions of like some of them, are videos I just thought of. Like the concept came to me like the day before, or even sometimes the day of. I've certainly sat down and been like, I should film something today. I got time. It's kind of a funny idea. Okay, well, let's kind of go with that. And, you know, it helps with improv. It helps with kind of, again, just getting you doing something. You don't overthink things. You don't overthink trying to be funny. It just comes natural and just kind of like, you know? You just get out there and you practice and
you throw it against the wall and see what sticks.
Exactly. And not every video I ever make is going to stick or do that well. Or, you know, I have videos that get hundreds of views. I have videos that don't get 100 views. You know, it happens. But you discover your formula. You discover what you're good at, what you enjoy making, what audiences react to, and you just kind of build from there. And it's a lot of experimenting right now, and a lot of, well, yeah, again, throwing things at the wall and just seeing if they stick. But, you know, that is exciting. It's part of every filmmaker or YouTuber or entertainer's career, is just trying shit out. Sometimes people get it right on the first try. A lot of the times people don't. So you need to work at it. So,
well, that's the amazing thing about what we have right now. We were saying that about a week ago, that we take it for granted, the unbelievable tool, this platform we have in our hands right now, that even a couple of years ago, yes, I mean, YouTube, I remember it even back when it first came out. But where it really found its legs has been the last couple of years, to have so much editing power, to do so many things that just a couple of years ago were unheard of. Unbelievable. Like, if you told somebody you could do it, they'd say you were mad. Like, even in 2000, they'd look at you. This is an amazing time to be able to create content for free.
Absolutely. It's also funny in the sense that YouTube is such an anomaly in a lot of ways, in the sense that it's become such a juggernaut, because, you know, try to even think of another video streaming website, you know.
Yep, exactly.
I can think of maybe Vimeo. Vimeo is the first one that comes to mind.
Yep.
Even that, if you just have an account, you can only upload like 500 megabytes of video a month or something like that.
It used to be more, and it was for free, and then they changed it for to be paid, and that's where I think the game changed for them.
Exactly. But YouTube, you know, you can upload a half-an-hour video and they're just like, sure, we'll take it, you know.
You can
upload it, go ahead.
You can make live streams that are up to 8 hours long.
Exactly.
Like that's got to be stored somewhere. That's why people get bothered with the adpocalypse and stuff. But there is a part to it. People got to realize this does cost money to them. Somebody's got to pay somewhere for a server farm in the middle of God knows where, of tons of them, just to be able to sit that somewhere.
Exactly. And YouTube is such a juggernaut. It's such an interesting piece of technology because it's a technology that a lot of people need, but not a lot of people like using.
Yes.
Because YouTube has so many issues when you think of like the apocalypse. I agree with you. They need to make money somehow, and they need to appease advertisers and different things like that. But just the technology in and of itself of letting anybody make anything is kind of anti-advertiser in a way, because then you get things like people uploading stupid stuff or little things, or even sometimes, you know, pretty extreme things in some cases. And, you know, I'm not sure I was going with that point, but I think my point was, YouTube is a love-hate relationship with a lot of people, but it's also something that totally, you know, there are many career paths and many people would not be discovered without it. So you kind of got to love it a little bit, you know?
But see, that's what happened when it started. Was a lot of startups at the time, especially in the internet realm. Nobody worried about making a profit. It was still kind of this kind of, it was kind of like San Francisco in the late 60s, you know, we're all going to hold hands and just get through. But in the end, they finally realized they were stuck in a bad mess and they had to get some money coming in if they ever wanted to be able to continue it. You know, that's what happened.
I know from the start, even like 8 years ago, you could just upload whatever onto YouTube, and you
people
know,
did.
People upload a lot of stuff, and you know, it's funny because the technology is just going to keep getting better and better, and we're kind of in this interesting age where, you know, YouTube, I understand that they need to use the algorithm, you know, the deadly algorithm, and it is just going to keep getting better, but for the time being, it sucks. By the way, am I allowed to, what's swearing on this channel? Before I think I've let a word or two slip, but is this like a family-friendly channel? Or?
We try to keep it somewhere in the middle. That's not too much. You're doing good.
Yeah,
it
doesn't have to be completely PG.
No. Because believe me, my sister comes on here, and that's her biggest shock is how well I've been able to keep myself together. She's like, I don't even know my brother anymore. Because it's hard because, you know, when especially the crowd comes in, and some people are very offended by it, some don't care about it. So but yeah, we're not Disney here, but we're also not we're not Dave Chappelle.
Okay, fair. You're somewhere in the middle. Sure.
Yeah.
So I can let the odd swear word slip, but I shouldn't be using it all the time. Just because I think I'm like you, and I'm one of those people that it's just a part of my vocabulary nowadays. Where you just whatever. Especially since my family's okay with it and my friends are okay with it, so you know. Same
here. There's no flags being wove here or anything like that.
All right, that's fair. Don't worry about that. Yeah, I just wanted to get that out of the way because anyways,
the thing about the algorithm, in my opinion, the algorithm is kind of, it's not, I don't want to scare, I'm not trying to act like some tinfoil hat guy and it's going to take over the world. I just feel that the algorithm's growing at a pace they weren't ready for. And because it's growing on its own, they never know the direction. So it's not like the cow has left the farm, but it definitely gets out over the fences sometimes, and it takes them a little while to kind of catch up to where it's going.
I agree, and you know, again, that does bring back. Okay, that's what my point was originally, which is we're kind of in the Wild West of YouTube at the moment, where you know it's not, or maybe not the Wild West. I'd probably say the Wild West was like 8 years ago, but we're in that beginning of construction of a civilization type of period where they've discovered the new land. They've already settled it. They just need to get the rule of law under control and, you know, different things like that. And that is what the algorithm is going to end up being. It's going to be kind of the law and order of the land. And I think for now, it's just a little extreme. And I think that most people could probably agree with that. But it will keep getting better. You know, the technology is just going to keep getting better. YouTube itself is going to keep getting better. Because again, there's no competition out there.
Exactly.
Where else are we going to go? No website offers a service like YouTube.
There's no option B in this game.
I know, and I would love to. You know, Twitch is the one that people are saying might be coming up because it has the backing of Amazon now, and Amazon's so obnoxiously large nowadays.
Yeah,
but YouTube is still miles ahead of what Twitch will ever be. And even Twitch lays down the ban hammer quite a bit. I don't even use Twitch, but I've heard a lot of people being very upset with again, doing something minor than being gone for a month. You know, the internet's video content creation is fantastic in so many ways because again, there's that chance for so many young filmmakers and so many young creators and even established creators to get discovered or get rediscovered and produce content that they want to produce. But the technology for what people are trying to do on the technology backing it up is not quite there yet, and it will take a long time for it to be there before, you know, the content that is good and isn't mistakenly flagged it can get through and get to a proper audience. And you know, they figure out why they decide they need to screw around with the subscription stuff. I don't know. And like dinging the bet. Like, I don't know why they even bother touching that. Like, that worked. I don't.
And now they want to get rid of chronological order and go more the other way. The other social medias were more like what's they think is geared towards you. So instead of getting every video, even with the bell dung now, you won't even see them in order, so there's a better chance of missing some of the videos. It's going to be.
I know.
Which is not understandable, really, because Instagram just went back to the chronological order because.
Did they?
People asked and they listened because it was by favoritism. But then if you go every day and you see a post from 6 days ago that you already seen it, like it gets annoying. So people were talking and they changed it back to chronological order, which works perfect. So,
I think so too. Yeah. I stopped using Instagram. I stopped liking it. You know, it's the same thing with Facebook. I have personal social medias that are not PaperFree Chris, and I barely use them because I don't like using them. I don't, you know, Twitter is the one that I've kind of like latched onto and kind of said, listen, I can have a lot of fun with this social media. It also helps that like I don't have anyone I know in real life on Twitter. So I can say whatever I want to say and without having to like be at a party and someone brings it up or something like that. In that way, being a stranger on the internet is kind of a nice thing, and keeping a little bit. I mean, I'm gonna be honest here. If you know, most people, if they really tried to find my proper identity, they could find it. I don't care. But if there is that little bit of separation between the two, where it's like, okay, I can keep my distance, and I can, you know, get away with saying stupid shit on the internet and making ridiculous videos and whatever, without it actually leaking into real life and job opportunities and whatever. And so.
Right.
Like even Facebook, like we have to keep it going for our business because that's still one of the integral parts for like because we have our photography, videography outside of this. But really, it's become such a dinosaur, and it's one of those things. It's like pop music. The kids all love it till their parents like it, and that's what happened with Facebook. Facebook was all great until the parents and then the grandparents got into it, and then the first thing younger people did was get the hell out of Dodge. So that's
no, you know, my parents have tried to add me on Facebook, and I was like, I love you guys. It's not happening. No.
Well, we got kids, so that's why we got to go on. Like, I'm born in Eastern Quebec, with the Gaspésie area.
Okay.
Of course, Xenia was born in Latvia. It's actually a funny side story. When we first, we lived together here in Montreal and in Latvia, but when we went to Saskatchewan, I was driving truck in the oil fields all the time. And my mother and them were asking me, are you alive? Are you this, or that? Where's the pictures of the kids? Blah, 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 blah. So I'm like, Xenia and them never used it because they had their own program called Fripe.
Really?
Right?
Okay.
That was by invitation only. They mostly used. So I'm like, you know what? Just go on my Facebook and answer them so they'll leave me alone, you know, because I was working long hours. And then she started doing that. She got to meet some more of my family that she never got more distant. She got to meet some of my friends. I'm like, this is bang on perfect. Now I got like a secretary that takes care of all my crap because I hated it. And she's getting to meet people. And that worked out well because then when she got to meet them in real life, like friends I went to school with, you know, small town, everybody goes everywhere. So when we go to my parents and somebody had to be home, she already had kind of a starter with them because she got to see some of their stuff. They got to see some of her photography, got to know a bit about her. So it wasn't like a cold, you know, just it opened doors for her to get to meet a lot of the people that I knew in my life.
Yeah, definitely. It broke some walls, so to say. But now I got tired of it. So since Christmas, I maybe popping in to check something once in a week, and that's it. I'm just not interested in it anymore. So I'm slowly dying down.
No, I agree. I'm not interested for the sharing and the doing that kind of stuff anymore. In fact, if I have a friend on Facebook that shares too much, I often like block them or something like that, just because I'm like, I don't want to see it. Like, it's, you know, I think social media in this very funny way. Like, I get it if you're trying to advertise something, advertise like a business and stuff like that. Yeah. I primarily use Facebook for news and jobs. So Facebook still has a huge job marketplace, pretty much. Everybody has Facebook. You know, you can. If you throw a rock, you're going to find someone that, you know, you're going to hit someone that has Facebook, you know, like, so everybody, you know, people oftentimes will, if they're doing something in the industry, like, posting a job opportunity or selling some equipment or whatever, they'll post on Facebook. And I've gotten real good paying jobs with good companies, from Facebook. just from advertisements. And, you know, so Facebook, even though it's funny because the purpose of Facebook, you know, is to get, again, as you said, like get to know your relatives, meet people, you connect with them, you stay connected. It's less about that nowadays. And I don't even think I add people on Facebook anymore unless I like really like them. But I use it more just to, you know, get work and to get the news pretty much, just because I follow lots of different news places and I'm in lots of different groups that post jobs. And I feel like what it was is beginning to die down now that people grow up and kind of, because I remember like when I was younger, you know, back when I was like 14, I would post anything on Facebook. I would, you know, I a little while ago, ever since the big data breach, I actually went back and deleted like my first 3 years of information on Facebook just because I didn't trust it. And it's super cringy. And you're like, what was I thinking? And
yeah. And you were 22. I mean, going back, like if I was your age and that happened, I would definitely be going back and get rid of a lot of stuff, you know, just because us at the time when we got onto it, it was more. But yeah, if it had been around years ago, thank God, like MIRC and those programs, those chat ones didn't keep anything. So I guess I kind of got lucky that when But
what would your thoughts be? Because I remember reading something the other day. What would your thoughts be of a social media where you pay a yearly fee and they don't collect your data? What would your thoughts on that be?
It's good. The problem is whenever you have a business, it's hard to wonder how many people would actually sign up to it that we would need to reach. It would be good for us, like privately, but for business wise, I don't know if the reach would be so good.
I think part of it too. I mean, people forget that it's lots of the things online, same as Facebook and YouTube, is for free. We kind of take it for granted. You know, it's there, it's a platform. We should be able to use it. They shouldn't collect our information. But all of these, you know, platforms are businesses.
Yeah, we almost turn them into rights all the time now.
Yeah.
As soon as we join the social media, it's like we have some God-given right, like written in our Constitution, that they can't do anything with it. And it's a business that pulls that hook, line, and sinker. They market it that way for us to think that way.
Yeah, exactly. And I really, you know, once something is on internet, I really don't think it's like the whole point is sharing. Sharing means it's not private anymore. It doesn't mean which platform or you put it private or not. You shared something. Sharing means it's not yours anymore, right? This kind of defeats the whole concept of it, in my opinion.
No, I totally agree. You know, it's that weird. Oh, sorry, I'm totally hearing myself right now. I don't know where that's. I don't know. Anyways, it's that interesting balancing act, which is, you know, you're right. I agree. When you share something on the internet, you know, you put it out there, you're expecting people to see it, people to have eyes on it, including people you might not want to have eyes on it.
Yes, definitely.
However, where it becomes a little bit slimier is like, you know, Facebook can track so much stuff in the sense that like if you're scrolling through your feed and you see an ad pop up and notices, you stop on that ad for like 5 seconds and it kind of just stays on the screen. Then you keep going. It's like, oh, he probably looked at that ad. And, you know, Facebook is just a very complex series of data that has, you know, people often, you know, are surprised by how much information that Facebook has on you and how effectively they can market things towards you. Same thing with Google. Google's another big culprit. Twitter is also a big culprit of it.
Well, actually, Amazon was the first one that started it with the books and selling of the books and collecting the information in the directory. When they started their company, that's how they started it with. And they had the biggest information on people, so to say. So really, that's why, you know, we might not use Facebook, but there is, you know, other companies that do the same thing. It's just Facebook is bigger, but really, it's everywhere, I think.
Yeah, I know you can't escape it. The idea of getting something for free by trading off some of your personal data, it's such a appealing motivation to sign up for something. Oh, well, it's free and everyone's using it, you know, and why wouldn't I? And there's lots of ways to market. It's totally appealing, but at the same time, I'm trying to peek into the chat here a little bit as well. People are totally right. Like if, you know, the big thing is, you know, if you don't want your data taken, don't use it. And it's a tough situation. It's kind of between a rock and a hard place situation where it's like, well, I mean, if you don't use it, I'm missing out on all these opportunities. But if I do use it, I'm having my data taken. So there's no real upside for either one. There's a negative for both. And so what do? You decide how much you want to share or whatever, how often you want to go on it. But I don't know. Still, there's something kind of slimy about it. And, you know, that's just my opinion, I guess.
It's no, and you're right. Like, and that's the whole point where I say they fool us into a constitution, feeling that we have this right. That's part of the sliminess in the whole thing. It's not a caring, sharing, loving, the 30-second ads you get for Facebook, Twitter, whichever, any of them. They're all in it in the end. It's a business. And we're led down a rope, and it's a big experiment in sociology that we're living right now. And they're using the same things years ago, the techniques that they used, for instance, and people are going to laugh, but it's true, like in cults, in casinos, in churches, anything where you had to work with a mass group of people is being put to the full test today. Soviet tactics used that was in the Soviet Union are being used today. Lots of things are being put. That's not a tinfoil hat thing. That's just the evolution of people learning how to lead people. And that's how they do it here. They get their most intimate connections with you. You're sharing your baby pictures. You're sharing pictures of your dog. You're sharing the house that you're looking at buying. You're sharing that bad day where you can't take the pain. You're sharing that day where, you just lost your father to cancer. These are the most vulnerable moments. You've said, you know what? We have no understanding of who you are, but I'm going to put this here thinking just my friends can see it for some ungodly reason, forgetting it's going to a global corporation. And it becomes data. And it goes to an algorithm, and it's being studied and manipulated.
Well, yeah, and no kidding. You can target your advertisement, for example, for all women that live in Canada that are in their 30s that drive a red car, and they're going to find thousands of them just on this sentence, right? Just because of the stuff that they posted.
I've mentioned something on this live stream that I've never said or looked up in a long, long time. We were asking about favorite movies, and I was talking about Castaway, and I talked about it for a bit. And lo and behold, when I'm searching on YouTube today, what comes up but like 2 debunking videos about Castaway, the movie, and that. So
I don't know. Facebook is, again, the good and evil in the world. It's big and necessary and a totally useful tool if you use it properly, but it's also a big evil corporation. And it's always good for people to remember that.
Yep.
Just to answer the question, I think someone said, like, why do I care if they take my data? Because it's your data. It's your personal information. And you're right. When you sign up for the product, you're saying, listen, I'm willing to give up some of this data in order to get this product for free. Right. But the tactics that a company like Facebook or YouTube or Twitter or whatever use nowadays, and the amount of stuff that they know about you, can do things like influence your political decisions, show you the proper articles you want to see, get you make you see more of a certain person and less of other people. There are dangers that can come about from using a tool like Facebook and relying on it. So it is important to make sure that you always look at things on Facebook and Twitter with a bit of skepticism and a little bit of restraint in a way, I guess. Yep. Just because you don't know what's going on behind the scene, just how much they know about you and just how much they are manipulating you in ways. And, again, keeping you on the site, keeping you watching, keeping you scrolling. That's the main reason why they got rid of chronological, is because they were like, let's keep people here. If people are here, they're sharing, they're liking, we see that they're looking at ads. It's all these things, and you should protect your personal data. It's your data. It's not supposed to go to someone else. It's yours, and you should feel a little bit violated when you kind of, again, talk about something in private, like seeing Castaway, and then why is that there? I never looked this up. I never, did that, anything like this. And suddenly they know that I want to watch this movie. How did they know that?
This was in a live stream, but of course Google owns Hangouts, and people fall in love with the Mad Men a couple of years ago. People love that lifestyle, and it showed a real insight into the marketing of that time. But nobody realizes we're living through that right now. This is Mad Men 2.0. The first part of the 2000s was this technology that revolutionized. The second half of it so far has been nothing but how to market it. That's exactly what's going on.
Yeah.
Data analyzation is what's the big thing that's changed, way more even than the technologies.
And they're supervising our opinions. At the end of it all, it is, but in my opinion, it is the biggest danger that they are targeting the movies, the articles that we see, and people tend not to look outside of that frame, so they guide the information. So people think the certain way, and it can create dangerous outcomes. It's I don't know if you have seen a Black Mirror.
Oh, I've seen every episode. Oh yeah,
I love it. Like, oh my god.
I'm with you there.
Yeah, and you know, that's exactly what is happening. That's exactly where we're going. It's so just looking in a Black Mirror, but that's exactly where it's going. And I don't really think there is a way out of it. I really think that technology is a part of human evolution. It has become one with us. It's not just separate entity anymore. It's you know, two in one. So really, I do think it's part of evolution to whatever we're going to.
And I think you're totally right. I think it's going to become even more and more intrusive in the future. I think you're going to be. I bet in some point in time that you are like basically to live in a society, you're going to have to sign up for something. Like, you know, nowadays you can still kind of get away with, okay, I'm not on social medias. At a certain point, I think like Amazon's going to buy out all grocery stores. They're going to need to have an Amazon account. Like, I don't know, but it seems like you're right. Technology is going that way. It's the natural progression of humanity to adopt more technology and bring it into more of the forefront of our lives because it's convenient and it's great for sharing information and great for gaining access to information, but it's terrifying in lots of ways in the sense that you're giving up a little bit of your privacy and a little bit of like, I don't want to be over dramatic here, but a little bit of your humanity in a way, your personal self. And instead you're maybe opting into groupthink without even knowing you're going that way. Or again, like going into a thought bubble and not being challenged with new ideas. And then political divides happen like in the United States right now. You know, it's a very interesting, again, sociological experiment kind of going on right now. And unfortunately, we're kind of the guinea pigs and society's kind of the guinea pigs. And we're already starting to see some negative outcomes from it. And I think people are willing to wake up a little bit to it.
And there's got to be a balance in life. And it's the same with this in the end. Like, I don't want to be at the point where I can't give anything out. Like, I want things to be more automated in some parts. But we got to accept the fact that we got to give a little bit. The thing is not to give everything that we have either. You know, that's where I think the kind of the draw is into it. And that takes time. Like anything else, whenever there's something new happens, there's always got to be a pendulum switch. And the left's got to have their turn with it and the right. And I've always said you got to, when we talk about politics, I always said I'm neither or. I'm like a bird, and a bird needs two wings to fly. You can't have just a right or a left wing. And I am like that in my politics, where one thing I might be more conservative on, the next one more liberal on. The same with this. It's got to have some balance, and it's going to go both ways until we finally. But I do believe in some ways that the European Union and a lot of the developed countries especially are still going to be finding ways they're going to start putting in some guidelines, I think, to kind of bring it back into perspective a bit. But I truly believe we're about 5 years away before that even goes into full discussion. Because it's worldwide this time. It's not so easy anymore. They're doing things with their country, but that country doesn't mean anything on the web. It doesn't mean nothing. It's nice. It sounds great. You can't enforce it properly. It's got to be, you know, not even UN, but it's got to be some body of many countries to even sit down and start talking about this.
I agree. Now, the one useful thing I always kind of laugh about that face people's birthdays, because I constantly forget people's birthdays.
Yes,
and I'm always confident that when I log into Facebook, I'm going to check, you know, for the next month whose birthdays are coming up. Anyone I need to know. All right, perfect. I'll give this guy a gift or something like that. That's the. I know. I was just gonna. Oh, we've gone really deep here. I should bring this back a little bit. But I'm a comedy channel, right?
It was a good talk, though. I enjoy your opinions on it.
It's an interesting. It is an interesting time we live in, and you know, I'm excited for the future. But again, you also need to come out with healthy skepticism, and you know, figuring out the right balance of giving up what is personal to you versus using free services and convenient services. It's an important discussion to have.
And in video, I just wanted to bring up something because I meant to bring it up a while ago and I forgot. Do you know the channel Linus Tech Tips?
No, I can't say I do.
He's a Canadian channel, one of the biggest in the world on tech reviews and that. He's got about now 6 million. He's out of BC. He started off with a channel and now he has like a team of over 20 some people. I think they're close to 25 employees now.
Dang. All right.
I know sometimes people like to hate on the big guys, but you also got to watch the big guys because they do a lot of the research. You can kind of get a feel of the wins. And when we were talking about options, there's a great example of what they do. They do YouTube video every 24 hours because anybody who doesn't know it, we've said many times, if you put 2 videos within 24 hours, the first one will get like completely crushed. It basically disappears off the map. But on Fridays, they do a Twitch channel they've been doing for years. That's where they do their live stream. So they keep their platforms open. There were also another one that was called Vessel, but then that got bought out. So now they've actually gone a step further, and they've created their own pay-per-use service where you pay $3 a month, and you get to watch Linus Tech Tips ahead of everybody else. You get to see behind the scenes. And now they're starting to attract a lot of the big tech guys. They're looking at recruiting them, that they're going to be on there as well. And that's another part of the future that's coming is like the pay-per-view is going to come back a little bit. And people that are real, and people say, well, you know, it's a ripoff to pay it. And I agree. But on the same time, too, people are happy sometimes to throw $20 a month at a channel they love on their Patreon account, or give them $20 on the super chat, which Google takes about 25% of. So really, people are already kind of doing that. It's just they're not used to hearing that number, but I guess they're doing quite well. They've invented their whole new platform. They're all new in standalone players inside of it, the whole kit and caboodle. So that's another window into where things are kind of going.
Yeah, well, I mean, going back to that apocalypse, there's an interesting debate nowadays is how do you monetize, you know, content, you know. If you have content that is a little bit more on the risque side, you know, how do you monetize that, or how do you attract advertisers? And a lot of the times, or sometimes I should say, you can't. You just simply cannot do it. But eyes still have value, and people still have value. So what you do is you say, well, I can commoditize people in a way. This sounds really bad, but it's true. Like you know, the big example I always bring up is Rooster Teeth. You know, massive channel, everyone's heard of them. They have a first website. You know, where you can pay and basically get certain shows and watch certain shows first. And you know, it's a brilliant idea. You know, you get a group of people together, a group of content creators. You can produce regular content, much like the Tech Tips. You just again, you build up your base, and even if your content is a little bit more risky, I don't know, but I assume the Tech Tips is not like
no
content, but even still, you know, people might be having issues with YouTube ads right now. I hear you don't make a lot of money off them anymore.
No.
So
I believe that AdSense, the adpocalypse was part of the big guys as well, waiting for that right moment to jump in and then lower the value. You know, it was an opportunity that came along that we've been waiting for.
Yeah, I don't know. It's not something I have a lot of experience in, unfortunately. So I can't. All I can really do is speculate about it. But at the same time, you know, if you can get a subscriber base, and that's very much the same thing as Patreon, people will pay for it. If you have a base, people will pay to watch your stuff. People will pay to watch certain shows. Because again, you know, you're kind of right. The big guys kind of ruined it. You know, they kind of they played too fast, too hard, too soon. YouTube got freaked out. They got spooked. Okay, let's just bring the current right back.
Yeah.
Okay, now no one is covered by this. Okay, well, damn it. Like, what do I? Okay, well, how do I make money? Well, we'll figure it out. Well, that's not helpful, you know. And again, like, where are you gonna go? Where are you gonna go? There's nothing else here out there like YouTube. You know, you're stuck with the corporate overlord that is YouTube and the whatever they deem as fit at the time, you know?
Well, yeah, it was supposed to be an open forum, and then it's starting to close back into the, and it's hard too when you see more of the Jimmy Kimmels and all this stuff coming up, and that part I find is disheartening, because even some of the big YouTubers like Casey Neistat, Peter McKinnon, PewDiePie, all these guys, they get shit on for it, but really they are still the pioneers of what helped build this platform. It wasn't Jimmy Kimmel and these guys. These guys just walked in, set up shop, and get, you know, the A+ certification right off the board. Even Jake Paul, who caused a lot of the problems, I don't like him. I can't stand him. He's not for me. But that's the way YouTube has chosen to go, is by pushing these guys that come in from Disney, that come in from here, from Vine, and just, you know what, you got a following, let's run with it, until they kind of hang everybody in the meantime as well.
It is hard and time consuming to build up an audience. So it's so much easier just to get someone who's already got an audience. And, you know, you're right. The people who pioneered this website, and, you know, I don't go to YouTube and watch things like Jimmy Kimmel. I go to YouTube and watch Casey Neistats and Philip DeFranco's and lots of people that I have in my sphere right now, you know, and I think that YouTube should be treating these people with a little bit more respect, because if you know, even though there is no competition right now, if YouTube keeps treating people like this, there is going to become competition one day.
Oh yeah.
Again, look at, you know, Twitch is the big one. They're treating their creators relatively well, better, I would say, than YouTube. They have some smart ideas. At least they can, if you're a creator with a small following, at least you can get some basic income out of it.
Yeah.
But it's bad for, what makes YouTube special is the fact that anyone can do this. Anyone can make it here. You don't need to know the right people or, stay squeaky clean for all your life and sweet talk some executive. Like, you can just have a great idea or a great concept or a great personality, and you can make it and you can gain that following. And it's tough and it's difficult, especially nowadays. But that's what makes YouTube so unique from everyone else, and I think that, people should be treating these people, or YouTube should be, as a company, treating these people with more respect. They do okay, but they could be doing way more. I think most people would agree. So,
of course, I tell people all the time, like we had 42 subscribers at the beginning of February, and now we're hitting close to 1,600.
Oh, congratulations!
Oh, thank you. It is a lot of work, but I also tell people too that are, look at all the big guys. At one point in time, they had the exact same number as we had. Everybody in here, they reached whatever number we're at this very moment. They all went through those numbers on their way up. They didn't just show up and get 1 million handed to them.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm more thinking like, do I want to get into a certain tangent? Maybe. I think that some people get, the one negative thing about something like a subscriber count is that it can sometimes inflate some people's egos. It's very obvious when you have a subscriber count where you are ranked in a relation to a lot of people. So, I have under 200 people, subscribers, and that's fine. Like, again, I don't claim I want to be a YouTuber. I just have fun making videos, and if people want to come along for the ride, perfect. But I think
guys, go join his channel tonight. By the way, I just wanted to mention that's a good time to plug.
Hey, plug my channel, PaperFree Chris. It's YouTube, PaperFree Chris. I'm on Twitter as well. That's fun as well. Hey, plug. Hey.
Perfect.
Hey, look, here's my thing in the chat. Wow. Who's Mickey? Sorry, I'm gonna totally look at this chat right now.
Yeah, there's some really cool people in here.
Doodles by Doug. How's it going, dude?
Doodles by Doug is married to another girl that was in here. She's mostly in here, the Susie channel. She reviews food, and they're an amazing couple.
Really?
Of us live. It was his very first.
That's so cool.
Yep.
You should if you have that, you should definitely post it. You actually do have it.
We always keep it here with us. That's always our
Doodles by Doug.
It was made out of, one night we were joking around and we had a cushion. Xenia and I were kind of bugging each other. She said, well, basically I didn't want her talking, so she put this cushion with 3 buttons, and in true Xenia fashion, she had to put a scarf around it and a hat and glasses. So I went and got this 5-foot monkey I bought my daughter and put it in my place, so we closed the show that way. So we took that and then put our characters into those 2 things.
That's so fun. You should totally post that up behind you somewhere.
Yeah,
we just had to take it down the other day when we painted. Yeah.
Oh, okay, fair.
That was our very first thing we ever got from somebody
that's
here.
Right, yeah.
Hey, JJ, thank you. I appreciate it for calling the show good.
JJ is amazing. She has this great show. She does karaoke on her Uber ride share.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, really cool.
Yeah, and she has all her inside. It's all with lights and music, once the people get in, and then they can choose the songs to sing with her or on their own from the book. And
oh, no way. That's so fun.
Yeah, she's amazing. Yeah.
Mickey Wilson, hello as well. How are you?
Yeah.
I hope you're doing well. Gaming dude. Good night. Okay, goodbye, gaming dude.
Gaming dude was him and his dad were a past guest on our channel as well.
Oh, really?
Yep.
Yeah, it's actually a 11-year-old boy who does the gaming videos, but also does some stuff with his father.
Oh, that's so fun.
Yeah,
food and
they traveled
like
through Lebanon, all these places, and everywhere else.
Paris and things like that. Yeah, so there's always amazing channels here, and they're kind of like very chill, so to say.
Panic TV.
Oh, no, yeah. When I didn't do a lot of prep, but I did do some prep. I watched some of your videos. I just kind of like, okay, what's the feel here? What's the interview style?
Okay.
It seems very chill. It seems very laid back. So I wasn't too worried about it. I was just kind of like, it'll be fun. So
you get to see any of our old cinematic stuff?
I have not, but I will definitely do it. Could you recommend something? Can I get it straight from the horse's mouth? What would you recommend I watch? I'm gonna look at your channel right now, actually.
She brought the 80s back to Montreal as one of my favorites.
Okay, which one is? Okay, wait.
If you scroll back past all the live streams, because it's been a while, Yeah, and it'll be one of the last ones I did before we started the live streams.
Yeah, or you just go to the playlist, our cinematic videos, and
Yeah.
then you can see all the cinematic ones right there.
All right, cool. I don't know if it's the proper. I don't think it's the proper time to be looking at this stuff right now, but at the same time, this is kind of fun. Montreal Mural Fest. I'll probably check that one out. That looks cool.
Yeah, that one's one of the heavy dubstep edits and stuff like that. Also, the Gaspé Windmill Train is one of everybody's favorites.
Okay, I just want to spot it because I'm gonna forget the name of it.
Yep.
So okay. Anyways, yeah.
No, the Gaspé one, we were home on vacation because that's where I grew up in the Gaspé Z, and they have a train that's 2 kilometers long of just windmill blades because there's no more trains there anymore. And we followed it for 140 kilometers.
Oh, that's really cool.
Yeah,
I love filmmaking like that. Going off into filmmaking now, like I love it when people just kind of go out and like, I just want to shoot something, you know. I just want to like just follow. Let's just see where this goes. Let's just let's follow this.
Well, the train one started because of my son. He was 10 at the time, and I wanted something to do with him.
Okay.
And we go and film here in the West Island of Montreal and that. And then one night I was here. We do a lot of like just run away at the last moment type of trips. And we took off and 4 a.m, and we went to the Ontario border with Quebec.
Okay.
And for 2 days, we just filmed trains through every crossing on the way from there to Kingston, Ontario. Like
That's so fun.
Because we've done the 401 so many times, and I've never been off of it in a lot of places. So we just use Google Street Finder, look what the crossings look good, and we just like park on the side, have some pop, and just like wait for a train to come by, catch it. We slept in the car in Kingston overnight.
Oh yeah.
Came back the next morning and did the same thing on the way back. So yeah,
that's so much fun. Road trips like that is just a good. Go out onto the road, you see how flat this part of Canada is, but
yeah,
it's kind of fun to stop in the small towns and see what's what and discover some little restaurant. And
well, yeah, like Morrisburg or somewhere you would never stop usually, didn't even realize there was a town there, like
exactly. Like no, that's so fun. And it's such a fun, like, is your son into filmmaking? Is he kind of is that the avenue he wants to go down at right now, or?
He's kind of more of a behind the scenes kind of kid. Maybe a bit later on. He's
interested in the technical part of it. He's more into science and things like that, but he likes to know how it works and why it works like that. So maybe if your son becomes the next big engineer of like camera equipment or stuff like that, there's a lot of money in that.
Oh yeah.
I remember I was on a set one time and I was talking to one of the first ACs, yeah. So the first assistant camera person, and they do all of like the focusing stuff. Basically, they build the camera and they do focusing. And he was just showing me the camera. And I was kind of like, "Oh, what's this thing?" He said, "Oh, okay, this is an interesting story because he knows a guy who had this idea. It was like a focusing thing that if you pull it out or something like that, you can rotate it faster, or so you can get a faster focus rack, basically. And if you push it in, it's slower." He said, he patented it. He no longer has to work. It's like. Wow. It's ridiculous. If you come up with one good idea, people will pay for it. People will, especially again, there's in the big time movie industry and big time film and commercial and television industry, people just throw money at it. If you're like, I need this, they'll be like, all right, okay, we're getting that.
That's amazing. That's so
if your son's into the science behind it and into the mechanics and how things work, your son should come up with like the next great lens or the next great thing that someone needs. And just think about all the behind the scenes stuff. I'm so not a science person, so I like how it works. I enjoy this product. I could never think of this product, but I enjoy how it works.
We always say he's our retirement fund.
No pressure at all.
No.
Speaking about filmmaking and you and filmmaking, maybe you can tell more about how you got into it and how did it all start for you?
I mean, it started basically from what I want to say grade 5. When I was in grade 5, I was a child who was like, I don't know what is anything. I was kind of useless. I was kind of like, I enjoy drawing and that's fine. So on a whim, I was at my school and they were doing auditions for Peter Pan. It was an elementary school showing of Peter Pan. And I auditioned just on a whim. I was like, I'll do it. And I got the role of Captain Hook. So good role, solid role. So what that did was I started the very first process of like rehearsing and going somewhere and working with people. And I loved it so much that every single year after that, I would just do this. So after that, I got really into acting, got really into theater, directing. I want to know kind of like the mechanics behind it. So then I went into multimedia or media arts. My school had a media arts program. So I got to get my first time behind the camera. And, I got to film small school projects. They were really, really bad, but I got into them and I was able to kind of experiment and try things out and different things like that. And then what? So anyways, then came the time that I wanted to go to university or college. And I was kind of like, okay, what do I just enjoy doing? And the two obvious things were I enjoyed theater and film and I enjoyed using cameras. So at McMaster, very fortunately, they have a program where you can do a joint, so two majors for an arts degree in theater, film, and multimedia. So I went there and did that. And I gained lots of good insight, got to practice, got to work with people, collaborate with people, learned a lot of interesting things. I know how a camera works, but now I know how a camera works, for example. Right. And you just basically learn as you go. And that's that's kind of the nice thing about filmmaking is you don't really need to go to college. You don't really need to have an education to do it. You kind of just need to have that motivation to do it. Anyone can do it. But anyways, I was able my final year, my fourth year, I directed a short film and I directed a play. And I loved both of those. I wrote it, I collaborated, I worked with different people. And it was such a great experience that I was just like, I just want to do this. I'm fully aware that, like, for example, if I work on a set, the director is never under 35 years old.
Right.
You need to work yourself up. You need to build yourself up. You almost never see someone who's fresh out of school or whatever working on big budget stuff. It just never happens. So there's a lot of that grind, a lot of that, just creating an idea, putting it on paper, putting it onto a film, editing it, getting it out there. And that's just something I enjoy doing. And so that film that I did in fourth year, it got into some film festivals, and that was a lot of fun. It's not a good film. Let me tell you that. I don't know if you, I'm not even sure I want to mention it. It's not a good film because it's my very first one.
I don't know.
I have a link to, is it the Broken Shadows you're talking about?
That was Broken Shadows, yeah.
Yeah, well, I have a link. You don't want me to post it, or you do want me to post it?
Well, I mean, let me put it this way. If you look up Broken Shadows, you'll find it. It'll come up. But
I like the videos that I did see on VMO. I was watching. I like them.
Oh, well, thank you.
It's a great content. And I mean, you were part of the film festivals, 2 film festivals.
Exactly.
That's not nothing.
It was such an experience to be able to go and see it on a big screen. It's very fascinating. And for any young filmmaker out there, I'm a young filmmaker and do it, make a film, make a short film. It'll suck. That's fine. Someone will pick it up. Someone will take it. Someone will be happy to screen it somewhere.
You have to learn. You have to cut your teeth. You got to get out and do things.
Exactly.
The way to get better at it is doing things over and learning from them.
Exactly. Making YouTube videos is a great start for that as well, because again, you get into the process of YouTube videos are oftentimes very independent, but you start that process of creating an idea, creating a concept, getting all the equipment you need for it, shooting it the best you can, editing it. That's all the same stuff that goes into a film. It just takes longer. And it's more, and you have to feel more central about the idea, and you might have to put some money into it.
Yeah.
But it makes sense that, if you want to get into film or you want to get into YouTube, just do the vice versa. If you're into film during downtime, and there's going to be a lot of downtime, make YouTube videos. If you're into YouTube and you're like, I love doing this, make a film. Spend $500, write a 20-page script. Get some friends together, use your equipment, use whatever if worse comes to worse, you can rent equipment, and in pretty much any city you go to, you can rent stuff.
That's right, 100%.
It is totally always worth putting in the effort to do it. So Broken Shadows was fine. Again, I'm as the artist, I'm kind of there's a lot of stuff I would change now that I'm a little bit more experienced, but it was a good film, and it made into some film festivals, and it was really exciting. I now have a second film. It's not out yet. It's going to go into some film festivals. It's been submitted, I think, to 12. I'm feeling much more confident about it. It's a much more complete film. It's much I'm much more confident about it. It's a great, you do have to do those stepping stones, but they're worth doing. And again, my first film I created for $500. I think I spent about $500 on it. My second one, I did 2000. I think it was 2000.
Okay.
You know, you can create a 20-minute film for $1,000. And I know that sounds like a lot of money, but you know, you work for, you know, I got that money by working construction. You know, that I funded both my films and I worked construction for a summer. And with that money, I was able to, you know, I set it aside and I was like, okay, there's my film money. Let's do it. You know, let's put this together. Let's get it done.
Cool.
They were, you know, the film, the most recent film, it was filmed in pretty much one location. Easy. You know, you're in one spot. You can write a good film that takes place in one location.
Exactly.
Yeah, I mean, it's totally worth doing. And it's totally something, again, even if you just have that inclination to kind of like, maybe I'll give it a try. You can create a short film can take as much effort as you want to put into it. A short film can take a month. You know, you can spend a month developing a 10-page script. It can be 5 minutes long. You might be surprised that film can go to film festivals and that film can be screened by people and people will want to see it. You know, people are always very interested in seeing new art and new artists come up. And it, you know, again, you do have to do a little bit of the grind because again, I've never worked on a set that has a director under 35, but you have to get started when you're young. And that, especially nowadays, like you need to get started when you're young. Because again, there's so much competition and so much going on right there, that any way you can distinguish yourself and any way you can further yourself is a good thing, whether or not that be creating YouTube videos or making films. I would say do both. Like, you know, yeah, that was the tangent I just went on.
I was talking in the chat about that too, that there's this filmmaker now that actually started on YouTube. He posted a little short YouTube video called Lights Out, which was like a horror-based short video with his wife in it. Nothing much to it, really, just a short video, a horror genre, and he got picked up by Hollywood. The long story short, he is making full feature movies now. His first movie, the full feature one, which was called Lights Out and was based on that little short video, earned $150 million box office. And he's making 2 new movies right now. So he's a full-fledged Hollywood producer, director right now. I dropped a link off Wikipedia in the chat. Check that out. It's called Lights Out, and the director of the movie is the guy that I'm talking about. He started on YouTube.
Yeah, I know, absolutely. I just want to answer a quick question here. How do you select your actors for a film? Both my films were friends. They were all just friends. They were just people I knew. I was like, hey, you want to be in a film? They were like, yeah, here's a script. Read it, learn it. Like, again, if you're like, you don't need necessarily the greatest actors in the world. It's helpful. Again, I came from a theater and film program, so I knew good actors. It's a little bit different for me. If you don't know good friend actors or fellow actors, there are lots of websites you can go to. Facebook is a great one. People will jump onto auditions on Facebook. Post on Facebook. People will come to you and want to be in your film because they want to be actors.
True.
And and again, just, you know, you see what your pot is, you see what you have, pick the best people. Again, if you get young people or even, you know, people who are just trying to work their way up, people are willing to work for free. People are willing to do it just for the accolade or the recognition or the resume building that comes with it, the experience, I should say. You know, and especially if you have a solid idea for your film, like Lights Out would be, I assume it, like, you know, it's a solid idea, and this person clearly got some success. You know, you can sometimes skip all that. What's the word? All that grind and just go straight to the top. You know, the big success story is still the original Blair Witch Project. Yeah, it was a bunch of friends that were like, let's make a film, and that film I think made like 5,000% its budget in the box office, like some ridiculous amount of number, you know.
And that didn't have the social media that we have today and everything else and all that. That's another part about that one, you know. It just shows we have more of a leg up today than we realized was the kind of the message in that. Because you're right, Blair Witch Project was a great example.
Yeah, it was just people that had a concept. They're like, let's create this. It's very simple. It's very easy to film, but it's effective. You know, you just need to come up with an idea like that. It doesn't even need to be a simple idea or an effective idea. It just needs to be an idea, and you need to start it, and you need to kind of, again, get into it. You know, a film is what you put into it, especially at this leg of the game. You know, if you are kind of, then it's going to be an film. You know, if you're like, this is solid, I know how to do this, I want to do this, I know how to, you know, it will be much more confident. It will be a much better film. And it is a little bit terrifying when you have to show it to people eventually. But it is it's a fascinating experience, and it's something that you just have to do in order to build yourself up in that world. It's very much the same thing with YouTube videos. People need to watch your videos.
Yep.
You don't put YouTube videos out there for no one to watch. You need people to watch them. It's the same thing.
I put 30 or 40 hours into a video that would take, it's about a 4.5 minute. I tend to do a lot of, all mine are pretty much cinematic. This is where I get to do the stuff I don't get to do for customers.
Oh yeah.
I like writing with music. I find most times it's the music that is the voice, my actor in my videos, and I'll have the music and I'll sit on it for months until something comes up that I really like to package it. And why I mentioned in the beginning of about 42 subscribers, we weren't looking to get rich on here. All we wanted to do was build up our name for our company so it shows up more in search rankings. But I got very tired of putting 30, 40 hours into something to have 50 views. I don't, I would love to have 10 million. Everybody would love to have everything seen. It's like writing a song and nobody hearing it. It's very disheartening after a while. And that's been the greatest reward since the apocalypse, because I'd given up and completely, Xenia and I talked to, I said, I'm done. If I make them, I'll just keep them for me. And we watched the video by Peter McKinnon, and he was actually saying, guys, this is your time. This is nothing. You got this. This is where you're going to get more recognition now if you just jump on it. And I'm like, you know what? I'm going to give it one last try. Mm-hmm. And I went on and started. And to have videos that Gaspé trained to get 1,600 views was so amazing. Because I've had 2 videos that did it way better. One had 10,000, one had, I think, 13. But then it just dropped off the map. And it felt so good to have people actually commenting. Because, of course, there's lots of people like 21, which that's so heartwarming, I know they're never coming back.
What great commitment here, not the wrong word, but
it's like I tell people it's like a hamburger when you're making shepherd's pie. You got to accept there's going to be some filler as well in there. But around that, there is still some real meat, and people to sit and write 5, 6 lines. I love how you're doing, and what you're doing with this, or a train this. I love how you're taking something day to day and making it so exciting. Like, that's worth its weight more than any AdSense revenue I could ever want to get from something, is people enjoying it. And even if they don't like it, to write 5 lines of why they don't like what I just did is better than having nothing.
Yeah. A dislike is people interacting with your video, even a dislike, people
you can't expect everybody to love everything you do.
Of course not. And that should be part of the fun of it. You should be creating stuff that doesn't hit all the time. It doesn't always get the 1,000 views you wanted, or it doesn't always, you experiment, do things. I see people, especially nowadays, now that I've been on YouTube for a little bit, getting into a formula that they are like, oh, this had early success. And then all of a sudden their views start dropping off, and they're like, well, I don't get it. It's YouTube's fault. And sometimes it is YouTube's fault. And other times it's, well, you just got kind of bored of what you're doing. You got to change it up. You got to keep it fresh. People are only going to stick around as much as you want to, as much as they're entertained by what you're doing.
Yeah.
Change it up and take risks. And, again, if something hits, especially if you took a big risk on it, or you put a lot of time and effort into it, it's an incredibly satisfying moment. I totally agree with you when you're like, I'm not so sure about this. I put a lot of time and effort. I'm happy with it. I don't know. And then it gets good views, or, it gets into a film festival. It's an incredibly rewarding experience. You're like, wow, I just achieved a goal. And you may not even had that goal, but you're like, wow, that's awesome.
It's like I say, I always use an example. Imagine writing a song and nobody ever gets to hear it. That's the worst feeling in the world.
Also, hello, T-Throg.
Yeah.
Also, again, I want to try to go back and forth between the chat, because I feel like there's some lovely people here, and I'm very caught up with what's happening over here. But I also want to make sure that this is a live stream. And again, I'm not used to this yet. I don't have enough practice double tasking like this. But I want to make sure that we're doing things like that. And
guys, anybody in the chat, we always say it for our guest tonight, and as well for us. If anybody's new here and you check out our channels, I hope you do. If you like what you see, subscribe, and please leave a comment so we can check when we're all done here tonight, so we can go and check you guys out as well.
Of course, yeah.
I do a live stream sometimes, and we'll come back and we'll have 8 or 10 new subscribers and 2 comments, and I feel bad for them, because I will definitely go check them out as well. Everybody deserves a watch.
I mean, everybody deserves a chance. And that's kind of the interesting thing with YouTube nowadays, is there's a lot of people who are like, hey, I watched your video, come watch mine. And it's like, no, I don't know. You're not selling yourself. You know, you're not.
Yeah.
You almost feel like it's an expectation. Okay, I supported you. Now come support me. No, I don't have to support you. But if you again comment on something, I am more likely to look at you and be like, oh, okay, who is this person? You know, who's giving me good critique or good insight or a helpful comment? Oh wow, this person has like 50 videos. Wow, I'll watch one. Wow, this guy's really good. Wow, I'm gonna subscribe. Like that. I almost never click on someone if they're like, hey, I came and supported you. I'm like, no, you didn't.
Yeah.
You know, it's you commented. What matters to people, and I think pretty much any creator can do this, is real engagement. You know, building those relationships, especially again on a level like mine where I have under 200 people that follow me around. I pretty much know a lot of those people, and I'm happy to engage back. And there's a lot of people on this platform who are incredibly creative, unfathomably creative. You know, and and then there are some people who are very creative and then sour it because they're doing it wrong. And you know, again, I see them, you know, message me being like, hey, you know, I subscribe to your channel, subscribe to mine. And I like, especially when I was earlier, I used to check people. I used to check pretty much anyone out. And sometimes there's some incredibly cool channels that some of which I still follow, but a lot of them I don't anymore because I was just like, you know, I don't like how you're doing it. You know, if you are creative and you are doing something people are like and doing something people are into and following, you will gain an audience. It might take a very long time, but you will eventually gain an audience. And again, you know, success is measured based off how you perceive it. You know, if not everyone is going to make 1 million subscribers. That's fine. You know, that's not necessarily success. That is a success. Could be, again, my big success right now is like, I just want to get to 200, you know, because I have some stupid video plan that I'm like, at 200 views, I'm going to drop a stupid video and it's going to be funny and I want to do it. And, you know, that's success to me. And I think that some people need to sometimes check that success a little bit. But what matters to people is engagement, getting to know people, building relationships. You know, get to know thy neighbor, and that neighbor will get to know you. And yeah, you know, where was the original topic? Sometimes my brain just goes.
Yeah, the integrity behind the watches and all that, like you know.
No, yeah, and that goes back to your train video, which is you know, it's such a fun experience when someone properly engages with you. And again, you can even have a chat with them in the YouTube comment section, because when you're this small, the YouTube comment section isn't like total awful. Yeah. Like, it's not terrible when like some big YouTubers are like, why am I even looking at this? You know, like so it sorry, I just got totally clink. Cheers. I don't know what that was about, but anyways,
it was about my. I have conversation because Andrew usually talks more and I'm on the chat more. So I just was talking about my iced coffee since it's very hot in Montreal. So.
Oh, I see. Are you guys? Yeah, it's really hot here. It's weird because Canada suddenly got warm like in 2 days, and I was very used to wearing jeans outside, and then for like a week afterwards, I was like, I gotta keep wearing jeans. It's gonna get cold soon. Like it's gonna get one of these nights. It's gonna get cold, and it never did.
We're the land of extreme. That's why a lot of people are shocked when we tell them. They always think Canada's cold, but since we've started this, so many people get shocked when we tell them just how warm we can get it as well. You know?
Yeah, especially cities like Montreal. You know, Toronto, ones that are kind of close to the border. Well, it gets stupid hot here in the summer. Like you know, you can overheat. You can get, especially nowadays, like you know, with weather being so freaking off the rail in Canada over the past like year. It can get very hot here, but it can also get very cold. So they're not wrong. They're just kind of wrong. You're kind of wrong. You're just a little wrong. You're a little right, but you're a little wrong.
So they're getting, you know, when we started this live stream, we did this when we hit 1,000 subscribers. Neither one of us ever wanted to step in front of a camera. We had no interest in it. We actually were completely irately against it. I can't stress enough how much we didn't want to do this.
The same was probably for you making videos. You know, when you are on the other side of the camera, it's not so natural to be in front of it.
Like we felt like a duck on a water. I like being behind the scenes. Like I said about the music, I like the music kind of taking front stage. And it's funny how things grow and how you can change what you're doing. And as you can see, like when you went through our videos, the live streams are pretty much now, because we're doing them 6 nights a week.
So they've pretty much kind of dominated our channel now. But this was the whole point.
Consistency does help, though.
Oh yeah.
Sorry, I didn't want to cut you off there. Consistency does help, though. Yeah, I just want to interject that. That was
no. That's how we've stressed that too. Like, you know, that's why I said with that Linus again was that thing about never within less than 24 hours, and it is true. And YouTube does give you favoritism for it. But we wanted to have if we were going to do a live stream, because people then said, "Oh, you should do another one," and we were like, "Well, we got nothing to say. We've said it all. You know, we did the 1,000. We got everything out of our system we could ever want." So then we said, "Well, let's." I always believe that we put a lot of integrity into my cinematics. That was very important from the get-go, same as Xenia with her photography. So, okay, if we're going to do a live stream, we need somebody on because we can't talk for 2 hours every night.
Sure.
If we didn't even know if we're going to do it every night. And then secondly, it has to have some sort of that integrity that we had in those videos. It can't be just on a couch, blah, 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 you know, about everything, or just showing other people's stuff just to kill time. It had to have something. And what we realized, we came from a lot of the channels where there was big group channels, and that this was kind of like the cream of the crop. And that's why, if you notice, everybody has blue wrenches. Everybody's a moderator in our channel because everybody's so good at monitoring themselves and behaving themselves that we don't need to have like some great hierarchy and all the craziness that goes on with a lot of channels. And that was the integrity that built from it. And then people started wanting to be on. Like at first we're like, does anybody out there want to come and talk for 20 minutes? And like almost like panhandling, you know, like, please help us. And then we started getting messages. Hey, can I be on the show? Can I be on the show? And like now we're almost booked for June. Like it's insane how it grew that way.
Really? That's so cool.
But this is what we do every night. And we make a great variety. You know, one guy's working on cars. The next one is knitting. Yeah, you're doing we don't do like a week of cars or a week of guitars or a week of that kind of stuff. And I think it's really growing into something this way.
It's more about people behind the channels, as we always say,
than
the channel itself. You know, channel is like a business card, but then we want to know more about what is more to you, you know, what is behind. Yeah. and that's why I think we love it too, because it really is a conversation with people. It's not channels connecting, you know.
And if you listen to somebody talk for an hour about their channel, I believe they'll connect with you more when they go to comment on your videos. This is something that could last for years because you've gone from like handing out a business card to actually sitting down for a business lunch.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, I mean, good for you guys for making all your commenters moderators. I think that's you know, for some people that's like, oh, I could never do that. But it seems like you've built up a base that of viewers who like what you're doing and like coming back to you guys, because as you said, every person, it doesn't even have to be a YouTuber necessarily, every person has a story. And you know, every person has a story that's even worth telling, even though they might not believe it's worth telling. Everybody does have a story that is worth telling. And you know, I think that's fantastic. You guys are getting people onto the show, and again, you have natural conversations with them, and you just kind of, you know, shoot the shit and just kind of get it out there. And you know, it's a fantastic way to run a channel and to interact with people. And again, what you're doing is socializing with complete strangers on the internet and being able to grow like again fans around that, and people are willing to tune in and just listen and hang out and different things like that. It's really, really fascinating. Again, what is possible nowadays. You know, you can build relationships of people I will likely never meet, and that's totally fine. I'm happy to build those relationships, and you can get some really, really interesting relationships out of that.
Well, you're pretty new to us. So you probably don't know. Xenia and I met on a video game. She was in Latvia. We're 7,000 kilometers away years ago.
No way.
Yeah.
Okay. Because I am new. Can you tell me like the abridged version of the story? Because that's so funny or
we
so
met
cool.
On a game called Second Life, a virtual reality.
Oh, sure. Yeah. Yeah. Second Life. Sure.
And they drop you in, like, you know, in different starting points when you first start. And that's where Xenia and I met. We just stayed friends and kept in touch. And that's how we met.
No, that's so funny.
In the mid 2000s, and been together ever since.
That's so fun. Yep. No, yeah. I remember I played around with Second Life a little bit, but back then I was so socially awkward that I didn't chat with anyone ever. Okay. I more just like, I liked customizing the character and exploring the worlds. That was basically what I did. But
did you own a house or rent a house?
No, I never did anything like that. I kind of just I just kind of wandered. I played very casually. I played what I did was I would do what my friends would do, like my real life friends, because back then I was also raised in the generation of like my parents didn't really understand the internet back then, because of course I was much younger back then, and they were like, you shouldn't be talking to strangers on the internet. You know, we do want to make sure, you know, they're doing the good parent things and being like, you mean don't talk to strangers on the internet? Like, you shouldn't be doing this. And so I took that advice. So I played a lot of things with like people around me. But now that I'm a big boy adult, I can chat with lots of people on the internet and get to know lots of people. And it's a lot of fun. And there's lots of different communities out there and lots of very interesting people. Wow, chat's going up. Okay, I want to respond to some of these. Let's have some fun here. Hello, chat. Let's do something interesting. I don't know. We're not. I don't know. I'm back. Who's back? Nathan likes drums. Nathan likes drums. I'm glad you're back. I'm really happy.
One night we had a manic Monday where we had a bunch of us that play, because I play guitar and those other ones, and he plays drums, and we actually had a live stream with all of us on, like
taking
turns.
5 people at the same time with different music instruments.
That's so fun. Tina Davis, I'm glad you're just passing by. I'm really happy you're just passing by. Thanks for passing by.
Yep.
What else do we have in here? Yes, very fun. I don't know what that means. I assume there's a bit of a delay between what the conversation I'm having with you right now and what's actually here. Right?
And there's also side conversations going on.
There is a natural delay of 7 seconds, but then also it depends on internet. So 7 seconds is the default on YouTube.
Okay, fair.
Yeah.
Again, this is all new to me. I've never done a live stream before in any way. So
that's Doodles by Doug that did the caricature of us. His wife is here. She's called the Susie channel. To see her, she just came in the chat recently.
Oh, hello, the Susie channel.
She's amazing.
Your husband is a very good drawer. Are you a good drawer as well, or am I getting that wrong?
She does food.
You do food. All right, fair.
And usually when we reach around 11 o'clock, because we obviously go past the time, then it turns into Adult Swim. Push Studios.
Well, I think it's only fair that he gets to see what's. This is a running joke with us, because Susie, she does food reviews, and how I found her, I'd seen about 2 or 3 of her videos, and then this thing came on, and it's one of the more X-rated versions of a food channel, and I don't think she meant to at the time, so I'm just going to play a little snippet here for you.
Sure, of course.
So she opens it up. Usually I play burlesque music when we watch this, but I'll just do the raw version tonight.
You gotta sing it. You gotta put that music in there, bud.
Here comes the money shot. Here's the money shot right here.
Okay, I see what. Okay, yep. I see what the joke is here.
Yeah.
And the funniest part, Susie didn't even realize she was doing it up until Andrew pointed it out in the comment section, and that's how we connected with her.
Yeah. We've been together ever since. I see her husband's stripper music, and we didn't know they were husband and wife till 3 weeks ago.
Yeah. We've been hanging around for 2 months and never knew that. Playing this video for 100 times, everybody laughing. And
so I'm like, I am sorry for doing that. He goes, no. He goes, I can't pass the grocery stores with snowballs in it without hearing stripper music now. So
that's so funny.
It turns into Adult Swim eventually, our live stream, but that's later on.
That's fair. That's okay. I can stay kid friendly till then. There's like a little halo above my head right now, and it'll go away around 11.
You're doing good.
I know. To be fair, I am trying to like restrain myself a little bit here. Again, in my normal speech, I swear a little bit more, and I make kind of crude things. But at the same time, so this is my first stream. I'm on a little bit of my best behavior because I don't want to. On my very first stream, I don't want to say something really stupid.
I think you're doing great.
No, you're doing
I think I'm doing fine too. But it's just kind of like. Yeah, I'm gonna keep the halo up there for a little bit longer.
I know you got your guard up a little more, like it's a little less, but it's hard because we do have some channels that are more, more child friendly and stuff, and then we have some in the middle. So it's just trying to keep everybody happy. Because a lot of us came from channels where we were always feeling pressure. There was a lot with the apocalypse and that. So the whole point of our channel was we call it. It's the place to kick up your heels, where everybody's welcome, no matter what you're into or whatever groups you belong into. We have an expression: you leave your gang colors at the door.
Sure. Okay.
For anybody, and it's just where everybody can sit down from all over the place and just enjoy, a bit of time together. And it seems to be working. And by doing the wrenches and that, we have no problems with people. We'll get the odd person that comes in and I just subbed you, sub me. And usually people will give them a friendly reminder, we don't do that. Just sit back and relax and have fun, and everybody will check you out anyways. And if they don't like it, they're gone within a couple of minutes because they feel out of place. So it's
before I ask my next question, down the rabbit hole, I'm glad you just got a free plant. I don't know if you should be worried about that or not, though. It seems like a little weird. Oh, I just someone rang my doorbell and left some tulips there. All right. Oh, okay.
She's a fellow Canadian as well from Calgary.
Oh, cool. Hello, fellow Canadian.
Yeah,
Well,
yeah,
Alberta,
yeah,
but Calgary.
Yeah,
I
that's right. Yeah.
Anyways, what was I gonna say? I don't know what I was gonna say now. I got too distracted by the plant because now I'm like, oh, the plant. What's that about?
Yes, yes, Doodles by Doug.
So thank you, Doodles.
I love that. Oh, where everybody, where you want to go, where everybody knows your name. That's right. That's what this channel is.
Cheers.
I love that.
I love that show too, by the way. It's an oldie but goodie.
That's so fun. Oh, the question I did want to ask you is, do you guys ever have issues with like spammers coming in and like spamming stuff like that, or no? You guys never do, eh?
No, actually, we had Jim Apple that was a spammer, but ended up being,
we won him over, and now he comes in and he's on like best behavior and as part of the group and that, you know.
That's so funny.
No, he's just fun.
That's the whole point of it. If you put your best foot forward, I believe people that don't want to do it feel like they're not being heard after 2 minutes. Like kids, they tend to just kind of fade off. Or he was that kind of cool thing that really fit in, and I'm glad he comes in. He's a moderator now. We gave him a couple more days before we gave him a blue wrench, but yeah, he's a moderator as well now.
Yeah, and we get to know each other too, you know, because some people keep coming back, you know, and we have here us and them for 6 times a week, so we get to know each other. So some conversation is around the stuff that we already know about, but then, of course, getting to know all the different guests that we have. You know,
like we have a guy from BC Bottle Caps. You didn't see him tonight.
No, I don't know why.
We're both kind of wondering where he is. You know, like that's
what happened.
Yeah.
So it's very friendly. And any newcomer, so to say, is always with the open arms. You know. So.
And everybody usually supports each other here, like you know, because. But it's done in a good way, and then they do keep in touch, and I'll see them talking all the time. I love what you did in your last video. You know.
Yeah.
Of course. Yeah.
Now, because we're more than just a channel name now. We all know each other.
I know. That's such a fun, again, building those internet relationships of people you will likely never meet, but at the same time, you can still be friendly to them on the internet, and 100%. You can still get to know these people. Absolutely.
There's still a human being behind the camera, and that's when we do these live streams all the time with people like you. People get to see that.
Of course.
There is more than what we had a guy from Wisconsin, Muskie Hans. He's our poster boy for what this channel is all about.
Oh, yeah?
He has a fishing channel, and he's cool guy, you know, relaxed Wisconsin guy, you know, oh, we got another big bass on, and he gets on here within 5 minutes. He's telling us that he's going for his PhD. He's writing his dissertation on selling amounts in soil and all this, and nobody's talking. So I run over and check, and I'm like, okay, the participants are all still here. Everybody was so blown away to find this whole new side to a guy that, you know, we all liked, but didn't know he had this other life going on.
Hey guys, I just want to let you all know I'm a rocket scientist. You guys didn't know that.
I was just about to ask you.
I'm a rocket scientist. That's my
a new lens for a camera, and he's living off the royalties. So.
Exactly. Yeah. It's you. I don't know. I just am awesome. I don't know.
Mickey said, "Stick it with us, PaperFree, Chris. You're in good hands."
Oh, am I part of the clique now? That's so fun. All right, I do have to ask you guys: Have you reached the point where you guys have inside jokes I'm not aware of?
Oh,
am I not aware of certain inside jokes?
That Susie one was definitely one.
Yeah, Susie is the main one, and a hashtag Blue Wrench, which is about all they got.
The hashtag Blue Wrench. Okay, so that's the moderator. You meet your buddy old friendos, and they get the Blue Wrench. Okay,
that's right.
Yeah, and it's more for gags. It's not like an official hashtag or anything. It's just something. I think the first time when we started laughing about it, I just tweeted just one hashtag.
I think more than
kept retweeting it. It was so funny.
I think more than inside jokes, and that's what I was saying one night to everybody. It's kind of like wrestling was in the 80s. Everybody now has their own character. They're all true snowflakes. And when you see them come in right away, you know their character behind them, how they react to stuff. Like the bottle caps that I mentioned. He's very proud of his divorce. He tells us all the time how proud he is that he got out of it and what he got. And
oh, yeah?
He's like the old guy in the Muppets sitting up in the balconies. You know the Muppets, the two old guys?
Yeah, of course.
But you know, you all suck. Ha! He's like that type of guy, you know? So we all know their personalities, and usually we even know now how they're going to react depending on the guest is on, what they're going to say. some of them will type something and be like, "Oh God, here we go," you know, or this one's like,
Panic D just said like, I miss bottle caps. Maybe I should make a comment that he would in the nature of bottle caps. Come on, funny boy, tell a joke.
Yeah, exactly.
Doing, you know?
Yeah, that's exactly what bottle caps would be saying.
Yeah.
Or if we take too long on a subject, he'll start writing Z's all over the place and he's getting
move
bored.
on.
Yeah,
entertain me.
Yeah, exactly. It's just fun, and there's so many different people. It's like we have Donny Shaw show.
Yeah.
He's the guy from UK.
He checked you out today. I sent him your way.
The comedy, like kind of comedy stuff as well.
Cool.
Checking your videos today, he was saying, you know, and then we have like yesterday we had Southern Food Junkie that is completely on the other side, you know, in South Carolina.
Sure.
You know, doing junk food reviews and things like that. So there's a whole bunch of you know, it's not just a niche. It's people from everywhere.
We celebrate the gray area in YouTube, which is really good for a lot of these people here, because they all have specialty channels. A lot of them, you know, they're in gardening, they're in the car racing, they're in all these things, and we kind of help them build a gray area, because there's people that might be into car racing but aren't fanatics, or, you know, like yourself is a great example of that, because you have a very open, broad reach with what you do, where some of them don't have as much of that.
Mm-hmm.
Well, I mean, as the thing is, just have fun doing what you're doing. If you have a specialty, be specialized at it. Like, you will find an audience. There's an audience for anything out there.
Yep.
There can be an audience for gardening, for you know, comedy is just a very broad one. You're right, in the sense that anyone likes to laugh and anyone likes to watch a short video or whatever. But as long as, like, it's so obvious when someone looks nervous when they're in front of the camera, or they don't want to be doing what they're doing or whatever.
Yes.
I'm not saying like if you're nervous in front of the camera, don't do it. I'm not saying that, because I'm with you. I used to be super nervous. If you go back to my earlier videos, I was awkward as hell, and that is fine. But you grow and you evolve and you develop. Quickly, Benjamin Chavez. Hello. I saw you were like, hello. This guy got
tons of style. Keep in touch with him. He'll keep you well, smelling well and looking well. He's
okay. Fair.
Hello. You just launched your tour, I seen. So congratulations on that.
That is so cool. They were past guests as well.
Is touring taste buds a person or a giant tongue? This is the question I must answer for myself right now.
They're a husband-wife team. They're
building the airstream.
They just two giant tongues. Anything to them.
X-ray
those look like people. All right, we found. I'm very proud that you are a people.
Yeah, they're amazing.
X-ray Heck, thank you so much for coming tonight. It's so good to see you again.
Yeah, and we had like people from New Zealand, you know, that come and check on their lunchtime when it's our stream here in Canada at 8 p.m.
That's so fun.
Yeah,
it is, because everybody's time is so important, and like to sit there and have your lunchtime and sit down with us for a while, I think is so absolutely amazing. You know.
Again, yeah, that's, you know, the internet has no boundaries. There's no country in the internet. You know, you can connect with anyone around the world. I know a bunch of people from like the UK nowadays. That I know those are the people I've seemed to have connected with for some reason. So
that's a great place to connect, especially for comedy, and especially Canadians in the UK. It works well. Same as New Zealand, like Trailer Park Boys, and a lot of our comedy does very well in New Zealand. Because
I gotta catch up on my Trailer Park Boys. I'm a little behind on my Trailer Park Boys.
Same here. I'm the exact same.
The older ones were better though. The new ones are not so. And now with the passing of Mr. Leahy, it's not.
Yeah, the gut guy. I'm totally blanking on his name as well.
Oh no, Randy, the guy with the gut. No, the other guy died there.
Oh no, the drinking guy. Right, the drinking guy.
Oh, yeah, that's right. And it's just not the same.
So. I worked with them. I worked for a big music company called Gem Industries, and I used to work with Epitome Pictures that does Degrassi.
Cool.
I was a product advisor for Degrassi for 5 years for all the musical equipment and stuff.
That's so cool. All right.
Yeah, and we did also worked with Trailer Park Boys. We were trying to set up a promotion with Marshall.
Okay.
You know Marshall amplifiers?
I don't, but I'll take your word for it.
Okay, they're the big stack ones. It's always like AC/DC or any of the big or slap.
Okay.
That we were in Marshall, Canada. Once you cross the border, we did them. We have about 400,000 square feet here. We did tons of musical equipment. And we worked with them. We talked with them on the phone. I tried to work. It was for my own greed because I wanted to meet them on set. I'll be honest. But yeah, the show was doing really well. But they were scared of aligning with any product because in the show they blur out everything. You remember? Just that's part of the running gag. And they, you know, Canadian fans can be very fickle and very hard on you if you look like a sellout.
Well, for some reason, Trailer Park Boys in particular has this weird cultural significance to a lot of Canadians. And it is just because it's like, it's such a dirty, grungy thing. And Canada seems to be, in the world sphere, like such a weird, nice place. Everyone is there. I hate to break it to a lot of people, but there are a lot of dickholes up in Canada. And like a ton of them. They're everywhere. And yeah, but for some reason we have this reputation. And that's why I've always appreciated Trailer Park Boys, because it's so crude in so many different ways.
But it's so Canadian at the same time.
It's so Canadian.
Canada. I've seen those places everywhere like that. You know, I knew people just like them. Not the gun. The gun violence was more to make fun, like kind of the U.S., like the big shooting ones. It was kind of a running gag. But everything else was so Canadian. My God, down through Dartmouth and all those places, New Brunswick and everywhere. You see so many of these trailer parks like that.
Oh yeah, they're everywhere. Because again, well, I don't know if again necessarily, but Canada's so big. There's so like it makes sense to even some places just have trailer parks. You just go where you want to. Hey, why not?
It's not all sunshine and roses, all the time here. It's
I know there are some problems. We have some problems.
But the Trailer Park Boys, they even did it the right way of really making it Canadian. They had the trailer park, and yes, they were sleazy, but they were also lovable people.
Yeah, I know
those ones are as well.
They all have their quirks, but they all have their issues, and they have motivations, and you can connect with those people. And I gotta catch up. It's been a long time since I've watched some Trailer Park Boys.
Another show was Kenny versus Spenny, another Canadian one that kind of broke some ground too.
I gotta admit, that one's a little bit before my time. That was one that I never quite caught. That was one that kind of went over me a little bit. So yeah.
Oh, you gotta watch it. If you like Trailer Park Boys, you're gonna love that one.
Okay, fair. I'll give it a watch. The ones I used to watch a lot of were Rick Mercer and This Hour and 22 Minutes.
Right.
Remember they used to do like the Tuesday night things where 8 and 8:30. I feel like I'm getting a little bit off topic. If you're not Canadian, you're not gonna know what those shows are. But basically are the CBC, I think. CBC. They're like our national televised thing, and they do these clean comedy shows, and they're very fun shows. I think they're both ended now. I could be wrong on that.
Yes, Rick Mercer just ended his last season.
Yeah, I remember actually I went and sat in the audience of a Rick Mercer show before.
Oh, that's pretty cool.
It was really cool. We got to they show everything on TV and they record your laughs. And
I'm just looking at Down the Rabbit Hole. She said,
Corner Gas. Yeah, of course.
Kids in the Hall. Mine too. I loved Kids in the Hall. That was such a groundbreaking show.
Yeah, Corner Gas is animated now, by the way. Corner Gas animated.
When we lived in Saskatchewan, we went to where Corner Gas was filmed. They still have the garage there and that. It's like on the way to Regina. Oh, did we lose them?
No, sorry. I was just I was just texting my brother.
You were sitting so straight. I thought you froze.
No, I was just on my phone. Sorry. My brother
we really thought we lost you for a second because you never even almost never was not even breathing. Well, that's good.
No, I just got to speak a little bit quieter because it's a work night for people in this house. So I don't have to go because I don't have to go to work tomorrow. But it is a work night for certain people, so I do have to keep it down a pinch. But that's okay. I'll just speak closer to the mic. You guys can still hear me, right?
I know you're young but did you ever see Kids in the Hall?
No, I can't say I did.
That was one of the most groundbreaking shows. I mean, still they're all in the US. There's like that big show now, what's it, Superstore?
Yeah.
And one of them is on that, and they've all had big series on the States, but they started here in Canada. And I'll give you an example. There's 5 guys, and they always dress like women, but they like when they did skits, but they never dressed like beautiful women. They were always like housewives from Mississauga,
Oh, yeah.
Oh, you're doing this, Peter, and talking like that. And there's one guy that is actually gay out of all of them. And he does this amazing skit where it's another guy's dressed up as a woman and playing his mother and father. And they're fighting with him. What are you doing in that room? What are you doing in that room? And you think he's going to come out to them. But he comes out, but he finds out it's not that he's going to be gay, but he comes out that he wants to be an Indian woman. And this Indian woman shows up. She's like 50 years old, and she takes him, and he's dressed like with the sash and everything. And she takes him into little India outside of Mississauga. Okay. And like the men are hitting on him and everything, and he's giggling like this, and they're having tea. And they go to the market, and she's teaching him how to to buy the right grains and everything for the husband and stuff. It's so quirky and off the wall. Like it opened a whole new genre of comedy.
That's so fun. I mean,
yeah, squishing your head.
Yeah, yeah.
squishing your head.
Yeah, I crush your head.
Is that where that joke's from?
That's the guy from Superstore that
Yeah.
used to do that.
Yeah.
Oh, that's so fun. It seems like that's a popular show in the chat right here. I think I'm gonna have to give it a chat.
Yeah,
gonna have to give it a look.
Like Stephanie, she's from Louisiana. The chicken lady, that's one of our favorites too.
Yes. Yeah. You know, the same as Trailer Park was very popular in the States.
Oh, yeah.
That's how it took. It was contraband at some point.
They couldn't show it because they didn't have the broadcasting rights. It's one of the only times in history I remember people from the U.S. were sending up money, begging people to have Canadians send them down to show instead of
really.
Yep, I can remember that.
And it is quite rare. Not too many Canadian shows are that popular in the United States nowadays.
Well, it had never been shown in the States. They went to watch an LA Kings game. The camera went on them, and the whole crowd went wild.
Oh, really?
With absolutely no coverage except for bootlegs and stuff. They grew a huge cult following there. All the big YouTubers we watch, like H3H3 and all them, they're constantly referencing them.
Yeah.
PewDiePie references them.
Yeah. It's definitely an icon.
Yeah.
For sure.
That's interesting.
And they all work. Like, they all had secondary jobs. Like Randy, the guy with no shirt, he's an executive for Labrador Springs Water Maritimes Division. He had to use his, so now he does meetings, everybody wants him to take off his shirt when they're done so he can get a picture with the belly and stuff like that. And he's got his suit and tie on. Ricky's dad, the guy Barry that was in the wheelchair, Ray, they call him. He's one of the largest copyright lawyers in Eastern Canada. He's huge. He's like loaded.
Good for that guy who can balance. Again, shows are tough work. And I was saying that I think Trailer Park is filmed a little bit more casually than some shows. Yeah. But even then, even still, like, if those guys can balance a show and doing all these different things, good for them. Wow, it's tough work to be able to be a showrunner and like do something like that. And
it's so Canadian once again. And like you were saying too, they didn't need billions of dollars to make a good show.
No. Yeah, again, what you need is a good idea. You need to have an idea. You need to have the people committed behind that idea, and then you might find success. You might find success really fast. It might take a few tries, but hey, it's worth the try.
It is worth a try, 100%. There's nothing wrong with failure. I brought the show Dragon's Den the other week. There's some especially the original cast, like some very, very exceptionally well-off people who built their own empires. And if you listen to them, they spend more time talking about their failures than their successes, because that's what they learned how to do. That's where they grew what they got, is because of those failures.
I am a believer that everybody needs to fail, and you need to have everybody needs to have a harsh failure too. Yep. It doesn't need to be like a world-ruining failure, but you do need to have that moment where you kind of get your ass kicked a little bit, and you're like, okay, what happened there? You kind of have that reflective moment. I've had a few of those where I've had some minor kind of mental health things, and I've had things that haven't gone quite the way I wanted to, and you do need that, because you look at you gain perspective as to, okay, what went wrong there, how did that go wrong? And that's it's also the same reason why if someone finds success too quickly, oftentimes they're a little bit weird, if you know what I mean. And you can usually, it doesn't even have to be like child stars. It can be people that just happen to produce one thing and get really lucky, and then it kind of goes to their head, and people can just they lose sight of the fact that I succeeded in what I wanted to do, and thus I must be awesome because I didn't really have to try more than once. No, more likely what happened was you got really lucky, and you happen to be in the right place in the right time, and that luck can only bring you so far most of the time. There are some that can keep that luck going, but most of the time that luck can only bring you so far. Mm-hmm. So then you have people that are so far up their own ass that they don't see daylight, and you need to see that in order to kind of succeed, right? You need to be able to look at yourself and look at where you are and say, okay, how did I get here? What did I do to get here? What success did I have? What failures did I have? How do I grow as a person? Because with every mistake you learn, there's a lesson, and with every success, there's not always a lesson. There's just success. So,
yep. And it's not even the pinnacle successes. It's just day-to-day life. Like, even my kids, it's important they learn that you can't always even win at a board game. It's got to start from day one, seeing that. Because I've seen kids get, especially in a small town, I've seen some kids that were the heroes in school.
Yeah.
And they get glorified by it, not realizing that once this is all over, you're going to go to college and you're going to go into a huge pond you never thought you would ever have to deal with. And I've seen a lot of them crash and burn from it. They weren't any less smart. but they couldn't deal with the failure to them of only getting like, you know, 7th in the class in their college years because they never had to deal with it.
I still know some people, and I know lots of really, really genuinely good people who peaked in high school.
Yep.
They went out to the working world, and you know, they did very well in high school. Their egos maybe inflated a little bit. They were used to, you know, the way it was, and then they hit college and they hit the real world. God forbid the real world. Oh my God, it's so scary. But
that's right.
Then they like, I don't know what to do, and you know, they fail you, and they have a big failure. But then, you know, it's always a little bit reassuring when you hear, especially of someone you like, a story of someone who, you know, crashed and burned and needed to take like 2 years off, you know, when they begin to rebuild and they begin to learn from those lessons. And, you know, they end up becoming much more mature than some people that I know that, you know, had a free ride through school and, you know, came out the other side and were like, okay, well, I did it. And, you know, now I expect everything to work out for me as well. And then when it doesn't, they don't know how to deal with it. And then, you know, then issues progress from there. It's especially best when you're young to have those failures, because again, you have the support of your parents, you have the support of your friends, you're close to people, there's lots of, especially during school, there's lots of ways faculty can help you out and give you that hand and whatever. So failing when you're young especially is very important to make sure that you kind of progress as a normal human in a lot of ways, and understand that, you know, you're not invincible. You know, you're not someone who every first try you're going to get it, or you're always going to be at the top of your class, because you're not. And there's always going to be someone out there that can do what you do better. What matters is, you know, did you put more perseverance into it? Did you try more? Did you stick around with it longer? You know, success again can come years down the line, but it will come eventually if you keep trying for it.
And when you do it when you're younger, the results of your failures aren't usually so life-changing. That's the same as, you know, that's the point of even learning about like committing a crime, or everything has less consequence when you're younger. That's the time you have to learn. And some of them learn once they've crossed that threshold, and the consequences are 10 times huger than if you had to learn when you're younger.
I'll tell you guys something that I probably shouldn't tell you, but I'll tell it anyway. When I was younger, I was arrested for trespassing. And again, that was a terrifying experience. But we were also basically the story was, we were out, I think I must have been 15 or 16. We were out, we had a few beers, and we decided to be hilarious, just the funniest thing ever, to climb on top of a grocery store. We were just like, let's just get on this grocery store. So we didn't know that a security guard was appearing nearby and called the cops on us. So we see police siren coming down. We're like, oh shit, that's probably coming for us. And we booked it in different directions. And we all ended up getting arrested that night. And a big fat, you know, luckily the officers were just like, you just wasted our time, whatever. You guys clearly didn't do anything wrong. But, you know, again, going back to your point, when you're younger, you know, as long as you don't commit anything like atrocious, you know, like again, trespassing, whatever. It's not worth their paperwork. But I can certainly tell you, when you're saying the back of a police car with handcuffs on, it's not a fun experience. And you are kind of look at that moment and you'd be like, okay, what did I fuck up to get here? How did I fuck up to get here? And
it's a good chance to reevaluate everything you've been doing lately. I've been in the same boat as you. That's why I know what you mean.
Yeah. Also, Stefopal, I feel like I pronounce that wrong. Real world. I hit the real world and I was like, what? Me too. I was not prepared for that.
No, we were just talking about, that the mistakes have to be made in order to learn. You can't succeed. I'm just agreeing to what you guys were talking, and that you have to make mistakes in order to succeed. You know.
Oh yeah, of course. I just want to kind of make sure that I'm engaging with people who are watching the stream, because I love the people who are watching the stream.
Talking with the same conversation that you guys are talking, people sharing their own experiences.
Of course. I think it was a great experience for me to get arrested. I don't think it was a great decision, but I think there was, again, it kind of puts things in perspective, which was, you know, okay, I fucked up, and I got off lucky this time, but I could have had some dickhead, you know, who, you know, really wanted to teach me a lesson. I could have spent a night in jail. Like that police officer could have done a lot more as a form of punishment. Maybe just kind of, you know, put me in handcuffs and kind of brought me back home. But I can certainly tell you, it's not a fun experience. And you kind of, again, you look at that situation, you're like, okay, I fucked up. I understand I fucked up. This is how I fucked up. Let's move on from that. And you know, you can't dwell on these things. You gotta just kind of, okay, pick it up and go. And yeah, you know, I'm very Stephanie Opal. Okay, Stephanie Opal. I'm sorry. Your username threw me for a loop.
Yeah, it's her. She's an absolute. She's our our in-house sweetheart of sweethearts. She's like the softest, most amazing,
she's the kindest person ever.
she butters us with her words all the time.
Oh, that's so fun. No, again, failure is important, and making mistakes. And again, I wouldn't, don't fuck up real bad, but it's good to have those little mess ups every so often, and to grow from those situations and learn what happened. And yeah, I feel like I've messed up a lot in my life, so that's fine, and I'm okay to say that because again, that's part of life, and you move on from it, and
you grow from it.
Yeah, and then you make stupid comedy videos on the internet. That's how you progress, right?
So, what is it in the future for you? I know you lately there's been a couple of things going on with you. You tried to apply to work for Matti Hapoya. That didn't work out, but you had a great video for that. I think there were so many supporters rooting for you.
Yeah, I know. That was one that even I was gonna I think I let me put it this way. Yes, I tried to get that job because he lives in Toronto, so he lives kind of near me. So I was like, oh, perfect. I'm an editor. I know how to do that and stuff like that. I only really applied with like a resume and that video though. When I was looking at some of the other videos, it's like, people are putting footage into it and stuff like that. And I was like, okay, well, maybe it's still worth a shot from proximity and like my resume of stupid YouTube videos. But it didn't work out, unfortunately. And that's fair. Again, you miss 100% of the shots you don't take. And I took a shot and it was fine. And again, it was worth the try and it was worth the failure because you can say, okay, well, now I know next time to do that. I want to do that. I should go out and film some stuff out in the world, or I should put a little bit more effort into it and this, that, and the other thing. Yeah. Then I had a job technically for like a week. It's the shortest job I've ever had. And that's a fun story. I'm gonna
tell us about it because I watched it and I couldn't believe like what's still happening out there.
Yeah, I know. So I'm just going to give you a bit more of an abridged version because it's like a 20-minute video. And that video used to be like 28 minutes. I had to cut a decent amount out of it just to make it like watchable. But basically what happened was, oh, by the way, it's my second vlog. It's called my second vlog. It's on my channel if you want to check out the whole thing. But basically what happened was I went through a bit of a period where I wasn't really working. I was just making YouTube videos. So I was like, let's just apply for a lot of things. I applied for a lot of things. I got an email back from someone from a job I must have applied for. Arrested more times than anyone should. Flippin' epic. You shouldn't be, or flippin' epic. You shouldn't be that arrested. You shouldn't be arrested that much. But anyways, yes, I applied for this job. I got an email back. I went for an interview. The guy was, this is a part I had to cut from the video, but because it wasn't super important, but the guy is an incredibly charismatic guy. He was very friendly, very, very easy to have a conversation with. Again, I was able to bounce ideas off of him relatively quickly. And he basically promised, over a span of a few days, he basically said, listen, I'm launching a channel. I'm launching a YouTube channel. We're going to be doing sponsored content on it. So we're going to hire clients. And you're going to work with a client to create a piece of content for them. Fine. I get you need to make money somehow. You will be given a small team, all the equipment you need. And basically, when you're given the client, you have to bounce the idea off with me and I have to approve the idea. But as long as I approve the idea, you can do whatever you want to. So basically, he just said, check in with me with whatever your idea is. I can't have you doing something ridiculous with these clients. I was like, that's fair. I've worked with clients before. I have done videography for a few different clients before in my past. So I am aware that clients do want certain things and I know how to work with certain clients. But anyways, as time progressed, I began to see that there's a lot of cracks in this promise that he gave me. For example, the big one that was like the big was that no one was showing up for this thing. So on the first day we all met, it was this awesome meeting. Everyone was there. There were like a dozen people there from many different backgrounds, filmmakers, social media people, students, interns. And it was exciting. And then, the first day we were actually supposed to work, me, the guy, and one other person showed up and it was like, well, shit, what are we going to do with such a small team? I can't produce a show like what we were doing. Oh, and by the way, the show I was producing was like a Toronto culture show. It's basically like we're given like a restaurant or an artist, then we work with them to produce a piece of like fun, engaging, but also like sponsored content. So again, like telling them where to find, we tell the audience where to find them, a bit about their history, a bit about their struggle, you know, very much just like working with the client and getting a message out there that they want to get out there.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, I was told I would get a team, which I was basically promised like a camera person and an editor, basically just to help me shoot and then edit the film and or the video, and that was it. And I was like, that's all I need. I can do everything else. I can do everything else with that team or independently. And I wasn't even given that because no one was showing up. And then I looked at the equipment he offered to provide me. It was really substandard equipment. It wasn't bad equipment. It wasn't like I looked down and was like, holy shit, what am I supposed to do with this? But for example, the guy promised like, you know, these shoot 4K. They didn't shoot 4K. They didn't even shoot HD as well as my camera does. You know, I was told that he has wireless lavalier microphones. He doesn't. He just plain out didn't have them. He had shotgun microphones, which are fine, but it's not a lavalier microphone.
No.
I was, you know, basically the cameras. My camera is an integrated lens, so there's no lens changing. It's just the one thing. It's easy to use, very easy to use. These cameras did have changing lenses, so but the lenses he had were very limiting. And basically what had happened was I was originally told I could keep the show 10 minutes and have one client per episode. We were then told it was going to be a 12-minute episode and have 3 clients per episode, which is a hell of a lot more work and removes a lot of the creative wiggle room that I had previously. Because again, you know, if you're working with a client, you know, you need to give them about half the time to do their client stuff. But for the other half of the time, you could do something fun. And, you know, whatever I do, I always inject creativity and fun into it because I just will go insane if I don't. I just can't work jobs I don't find engaging. And I found construction very engaging, but I've also worked jobs in the past that I just like, my brain feels like I'm rotting here. Like I've worked in the restaurant industry a bit as well. I didn't last long there because I just didn't enjoy it and I found it boring and whatever. But if I was told I could run a show, there's a lot of wiggle room that I could have to inject creativity and inject interesting things into the show. And then when I'm told, you know, you have 3 clients in 12 minutes, a hell of a lot more work. You have to check with clients. You don't have to work with 3 different clients per episode in 1 week. And there's no room for creativity anymore. It's pretty much just a showcasing show now. Of like, this is the artist. Here's an artist. Here's a restaurant. Here's an artist. Okay, perfect. That's the episode. So I just and the big thing was he was telling me it was going to get paid. It was going to be a paid position, and then it wasn't. Or it was a paid position, and he kept dodging the question and never told me explicitly how much I was going to be paid to do it. And one thing, again, that was cut from the video is when you work with people in the industry, if they're willing to, most of the time, like 95% of the time, by like the 3rd email, they will tell you how much you're going to get paid. You know, they oftentimes tell you very quickly, like, hey, you know, this is an unpaid job, or hey, this is a $200 a day job, or a $300 a day job, or a $100 a day job, or a $15 an hour job. Like they tell you usually very quickly.
Right.
Over the span of knowing him for like 2 weeks, never even gave me a hint of what I was going to get paid to do this.
God.
So I just assumed I was going to be pocket change, basically, that I was going to get paid to do all this work. So I had no support, lackluster equipment, no wiggle room for creativity, and I wasn't getting paid. Why the hell would I do this? I didn't. There is no reason for me to do this. Again, it's literally more worth my time to work on YouTube videos. At least I can do it my way, and even then, I'm not getting paid anything. So who cares? Like, yeah. So it's an interesting tale because again, I don't necessarily dislike the people who were involved in it because again, the guy was very charismatic. I don't think he was like a malicious guy. I don't think he was someone who was trying to use young people and like achieve something. I think he was just very ambitious and had never really run a production like that before and wanted to have a little bit more control than he promised over it and really couldn't deliver on a lot of the things that he was promising. So it just made no sense for me to stay with the project. And the unfortunate thing is, when I emailed this guy and I emailed his assistant, and the assistant replied to both of us saying something along the lines of, hey, I called him Jim in the video. I'm going to keep calling him Jim. Hey, Jim, I have terrible news. Chris just dropped out. And I got that email. Like, I was like, why? Don't email me this. This is ridiculous. I feel bad now. Like, But anyways, it was just it was a dead end job and it wasn't going anywhere. And you know, it makes more sense for me to build a channel up that I enjoy working on and I have real creative control over. So, you know, it's a good story. It's a good cautionary tale in the sense that people will try to screw you over in the industry, especially film industry.
A lot of people will be able to tell that story. It happens, unfortunately, more than it doesn't sometimes.
Oh yeah, totally.
That's awful. I felt so bad for you, but at the same time, you know, it's great that you talked about that because you know people should be aware that that can happen.
Absolutely can happen. There are people. If you have a skill, people are going to try to, what's the right word? Not manipulate you, but maybe like use you without.
It's using it's for different reasons, but it is using, and it does happen. Anything, especially unfortunately in the arts, that's so common. It's in I've seen it in the music scene, I see it in film and TV, I see it YouTube, and you got to develop a street smarts for it. And sometimes you got to be used a little bit to get seen. You know, you got to weigh every scenario and say, is this going to work for me? You know.
Yeah, the big one I always, you know, that's always a bit of a cautionary tale is actors, especially. And luckily, I've never been on a set like this, but you hear horror stories. Well, not horror stories, but you hear stories about, you know, a lot of the time when an actor's up and coming, they are willing to work for free. And again, I can even say, like, my films, the actors work for free. They were not paid. While other people on the crew, like, for example, in my latest film, I paid 2 members of the film crew. And I didn't pay the actors anything because the actors are in that tough spot where they're like, well, I need the experience. I need the exposure. So I'm willing to work for free. And then when they're on set, you know, especially this one actress I went to work with, she kind of brought up that, like, you know, in the script, it was, you know, it was a much more platonic scene. Well, then the director wanted to be much kind of more sexual in a lot of ways. And she really wasn't very comfortable with it, but she kind of went along with it. And it happens a lot. And it can happen a lot, especially with actors. Because you can be used in a certain way. You know, when you're there and you have that, it's a little bit more difficult for you to say no. It's very much the same. It's not the same, but it's a similar situation to me, which is, you know, when you're in the space and someone's telling you, like, you're going to do this, it's kind of difficult to say no. And you're kind of like, I don't really want to disagree with you because you're giving me this opportunity. Yeah. Now, in my case, the opportunity didn't end up being very good, but for someone like an actress who's like, I'm on a short film, or even sometimes like I'm on a tiny budget feature film, it's a great opportunity. How do you say no to someone? How do you not do so? How do you, if you're being told to do something that you're uncomfortable with, you know, how do you confront that person? And there, you know, people in Hollywood are beginning to take more and more control about that, but there are lots of people who don't have the support of, like, ACTRA, for example, which is the actors union here in Canada. I also think in the States maybe as well, but a lot of small actors don't have their support. They do get kind of used and abused from people in the industry, and people that, again, don't clear things or expect things from people that they weren't cleared with first, and they're uncomfortable with it. But at the same time, you know, you're given this great opportunity. You don't want to disappoint the people you're working with. You want to keep getting hired. You don't want a bad rep to be spread about you. There's a lot that can circle in your mind when you're stuck in a situation like that, and it's a very difficult sometimes to pull yourself out of it. And what I would say to people is, you know, pull yourself out of it. Don't, you know, you should never be doing something that you're uncomfortable doing, and you know, you should never do something that you feel like you're being used, especially especially uncomfortable. Used is less than uncomfortable, but you should never do something that you feel like you're being used.
Listen to your inner voice. Your inner voice knows where you're kind of like stepping out a bit to be creative and where you're not comfortable, and you have to go with your gut instinct on that one.
I think a lot of people do, and but again, sometimes it's very tricky to
of course,
look at your gut instinct and say, well, this is still a great opportunity. I get to be on a set. I get to be a main actress, you know, or a main actor.
It's not even just the opportunity, it's the group together. I mean, it's always harder to say no when there's a group involved because you have the stagehands all looking at you, the other actors, you know, you feel that mob mentality, you know, not that they're treating as a mob, but it does put you in the spotlight. Nobody wants to let everybody else down.
Yeah. It's a tough spot for a lot of people. And again, unfortunately, the arts, since there's so much free work, and until you make it, you don't really get support from any unions or people. And once you are in the union, there's tons of support. You will never do anything that you're uncomfortable with, because ACTRA will, like, you know, has your back. But or any of the other unions, IATSE or whatever. But when you're an up and coming, especially, and you're looking for those opportunities can sometimes be very sketchy and can sometimes lead to dead ends and can sometimes have you go into uncomfortable situations. And you have to just pick for yourselves whether or not it's worth it, you know? And I would say if you are having a gut reaction to that, don't do it. You know, even if it seems like a great opportunity, you're going to kick yourself later for doing it, I think. So I don't know. Luckily I never got into an uncomfortable position. I felt bad, but at the same time, I didn't as much feel bad for the guy as much as I did for what I expected it to be and what I expected it could have been. And I felt bad that it couldn't come to fruition just in this instance, I should say. So,
live and learn.
Yeah. You know, again, you grow from that and you gain experience and you know, again, live and learn. Yeah. I'm much more mindful of people in the industry that could be using me or using the skill I have. And, you know, not that I shouldn't also say like I'm like a very skilled person. I'm still clearly like looking for jobs like that, but I do have certain skill and it is worth something. And yeah, you gotta be careful when you're in this situation like that. And what can help a lot is confidence in yourself, especially. And again, that is more just experience than anything. Knowing how to talk the talk, walk the walk. Even if it's your first time doing something like this, like pretending it's not and confront again, because if you stand up to a bully, unless the bully will either hire you or back down. Yeah. And in some cases both of those are good things. It is all confidence. It is all, standing up for yourself and different things like that, because people will use you if they see you as weak or see you as manipulable.
Yeah.
Words.
Yeah. I get you.
Yeah. But I'm fortunate that I didn't waste anything on the project minus the 2 weeks of my time. I did have to turn one job down, but that's fine. Like, it's a job I missed, and it's, I'm out $200, but at the same time, I got a great lesson out of the whole situation.
Yep.
And I'm much more mindful about that kind of situation now. So
that's right. That's the best way to look at it. You always got to turn around as a life lesson, and it is. So listen, I can't thank you enough for being so generous with your time tonight. And also, I want to mention too how generous you were with putting up with the technical issues to get on.
Oh, trust me, I was panicking behind the scenes here. I was like, "Uh-oh, what is not working?" I was more excited to be on the show. I've never been on a show like this before. I was like, "Oh shit, I want to get on. Come on."
So, you liked it?
Oh, yeah, it was a lot of fun. I don't. Again, the unfortunate thing is I'm using like a rock band microphone right now. I don't. The equipment I have is not designed for live streaming. So unfortunately,
we're not exactly set up for it either, so don't feel bad.
I know. So I don't. The equipment I have is very good for recording stuff, but not very good for live streaming. Even though I had a great time tonight, I don't know if I'll do it on my own necessarily, because again, I like to be able to cut things out if I say something stupid. I didn't say anything stupid tonight though, so I'm really proud of myself.
It was good. No, it was
it was
everybody
great.
got to know you more. That's the main thing about it. You don't want to be cutting and slicing everything. This is the whole point.
Panic Videos, have a good night to you as well.
You guys take care. Thank you guys so much for the shirts. Oh, this is so amazing.
All that other amazing stuff.
I absolutely love it.
T-shirts tonight, the courtesy of Panic Videos.
I still can't believe it, but thank you so much. That was so cool, you guys. Love yous.
Much loves.
They're an amazing couple, and yeah, they're just another one. Like I say, we could sing the praises of each person in here for their own special ways.
I know, and even I feel like nowadays I have to, or not nowadays. Now I gotta go through some of these people and check them out as well, because some of you guys are friendly people. Oh, so friendly.
You can go back in the chat once it's done. You can actually read it. It will play through as the video is going, and then if you want to check anybody out, you can just right-click on the side. There, you can go right to their channels.
I know, yeah. I'm gonna have to do some of those. I'm still at that point in my life where, not my point in my life, my point in my YouTube career, where I still don't subscribe to that many people, so it's still fun to kind of see the creativity that some people put into different things. And some people do have that niche kind of video, but I can still appreciate that. I can still watch a video and be like, wow, that was really fun, and still show that like either you do have a market for this, and you do have a community that can build around this, even if it's not me. But at the same time, I always like to explore those opportunities and, have that opportunity to say, this is for me or this isn't for me. And that's really cool.
Exactly. Well, anybody here with a blue wrench will vouch for them. That I can tell you. So if you like what they do, they'll be a good follower to you as well if it's something you're into. So
I'm always looking for good followers. I you know what? I just want people that have like fun. You know, I don't take these videos seriously, or maybe I should take them a little seriously a little bit more. Now that I spend so much time into them, put so much time into them, I should say, but I don't. And that's kind of the fun of it, is that they're kind of ridiculous and kind of out there. And you know, again, not every video is going to be a great video, but at the same time, I don't care.
Hey, everybody needs an escape once in a while. I mean, that's just as important as anything else. So, you know, it's
Flub and Epic, thank you very much. I hope I was a good guest. I've only watched 2 of the streams, so I'm going to watch more, but I hope I was up to par with some of the other ones that you guys have had on.
Oh, amazing. Terrell says awesome guest. Bob and Epic, another great guest. Stephanie, great guest. Everybody just loves you. So thank you so much for giving your time to us.
And keep in touch, please, okay?
Of course. Yeah, of course.
And definitely check out some of our old cinematics. That would mean a lot.
I'm probably going to do that right as soon as the stream ends. I'm actually very, very interested about that.
Cool. I'm looking forward to you seeing them. And
Sushi Fairy, hello.
We will have to have you on one of our Tech Talk Tuesdays and talk a little bit more about video editing and software. And
I never really got into that tonight, did I?
But we have Tech Talk Tuesdays, so maybe we can do that again.
Bring in as a special guest.
Yeah.
If you guys aren't too busy with your bookings up till June.
Tech Talk Tuesdays just us usually, so we can work that one out.
Well, I'm always happy to come back on. It was a fun show. It was fun to get to know these people.
We'll definitely do that then.
I know Sushi Fairy. I'm so sorry. I know her. We're online buddies, and yeah, you just missed it, I think, unfortunately. But you can.
Welcome, Sushi. Here, I'm going to give, since you're a friend of Chris's, you automatically get the blue wrench. So
you can always rewatch it once it ends. After a while, it uploads. It takes, I think, a little bit of time to upload it fully, and then you can rewatch it. So
it'll be up by tomorrow. That's what I'll say.
Yeah, it'll fully be strung out by tomorrow. Yeah,
for sure.
You take care of yourself, my friend. Thank you so much.
You too, guys.
And really awesome stuff. And we're gonna do that with Tech Tuesday. We'll get in touch with you.
All right, see you guys.
Take care. Thanks. Have a great night. He was a real trooper.
The first live stream, my God, you know, with all the technical difficulties we had,
he's comfortable in front of a mic, like he just jumped.
Somebody mentioned he should be on the radio with a voice like that.
I was thinking him and Neil from Hails and Heathens, like they could almost do like a live stream together. The two of them have that radio voice, you know. That would
be cool.
That was. So you guys had a great night. You got to meet somebody new, which is always great. Sushi Fairy, sorry you had. But yeah, I'd love if you can check out the
definitely check it out. Leave a comment if you do. Would like to know what you think about it. I'm sure you know Chris, so you will love that.
And Sushi, I hope you get to meet everybody in the chat, and I hope you can maybe even sign up if you like what we're doing here. We have guests each night, 6 nights a week. We talk to YouTubers, all different genres. Got a really great chat here. Everybody's supportive. It's kind of relaxed. We always say we're kind of like a comedy club, and everybody's sitting at tables, kind of getting to mingle with each other. So, it's so good to have you here. As you notice, everybody's pretty much blue. You got in kind of like they do with the Masons because of a connection right away. So
if you have a personal connection, then it's a different story.
Chris is vouching for. He's sponsoring her. Yeah. He's a sponsor. So. We do that with everybody. We're all in an even playing field here. Everybody's respectful of each other, so we don't need to have a bunch of power trips here. Everybody's just a moderator, and all works together to make for a really great show. Chat does, and the guest is 80% of it. We're a small percentage of the equation of what makes what happens here so amazing. It's definitely you guys. It's so nice to see a chat, like when you go into so many other channels and everything's such chaos and stuff like that. It's so nice to see people here having great conversations, really respectful of each other, having fun with each other, and enjoying the guests as well.
Yes, exactly.
And Chris was another good example tonight. Such a short amount of time, it's amazing how many people we've gotten to speak to.
Yes, exactly. It's almost more than 40 different guests that we had. We only had started live streams 2 months ago, 2 months and 2 days ago.
That's right. We just crossed our anniversary the other night.
Yeah. So, and as Mickey says, come in and hang out with us. Some other of our live streams, and you'll see it's really chill.
You'll like it here. I would bet on it. That's so amazing.
Thank you so much.
I love that you guys all feel that you don't just come here, but you're a part of this. That's what I really like. It's like you take pride. It's like in college where you get to wear the football jacket.
Yes.
You know, as a team. There's nothing so more amazing to me to this whole internet experience, this whole YouTube experience, than seeing how you guys really do take pride in what we do. Because it's not us, that's you guys. And your stuff like that means the world. And the same as stuff we got here. We still can't believe that somebody would take the time to mail us stuff, you know. And like,
yeah, it's so amazing, you know. And as we said, we are going to try and figure out how to put all these things behind us, all these amazing items that we have been receiving from you guys.
Everybody says no amount of money. Of course, everybody would like to have $1 million on top of what they do and still get it. But let's talk about it. You know, even just AdSense in the general day. What amount of money could give you a great feeling of this? Because there's no benefit from it, so it's just love.
Yeah, exactly.
That's what's so amazing about it.
It's really, we do really feel truly love by you all. You guys so awesome. As I say every night after we end this stream in the chat, you guys are all awesome.
Yeah.
Thank you so much for sticking with us. Tomorrow at 8 p.m. Eastern, as always, 6 times a week, Monday to Saturday, 8 p.m. Eastern, we're on. Tomorrow we're gonna have Brenda's beauty blogs on. She has crossed her 1,000 subscribers last week, and counting.
She really grew fast.
And in celebration of that, we're gonna be having her on. So talking all about beauty and fashion, but not only, because as you always know, it's getting up close and personal with the guests.
That's right.
So that's gonna be interesting. And on Saturday we are gonna have. I always want to pronounce it the other way around. Family channel or family flannel.
Family flannel. That's right.
My goodness.
I know it's a hard one. It's a bit of a
it's going to be fun as well. Lots of things to discuss. I think it's going to be a great smart conversation, as I call those. You know, life lessons and so on. So it's going to be interesting. So stick around with us and
I was okay. First, I'll start with teeth wrong. I start having Pusa withdrawals on the nights I miss. You're so many. We have teeth wrong withdrawals when you're not here too. But once again, it's real life. Whatever time you guys share with us is truly appreciated. If it's 5 minutes or 2 hours, whatever you can, we love you all for it.
The Florida Pirate Channel was in here at the beginning, by the way. So you just missed each other. He was here for a while at the beginning. He came back again. So
and he is a great guy
for bringing him over.
Yeah, he's a really standout guy, and he's been here for a good while now, back and forth. And that happens too. That's another thing too. You know, they start missing a couple. It happens. Real life it doesn't come up in the feeds as much. You can't remember every channel, so. He is a real standout guy, and definitely somebody hasn't checked him out for sure. I like Flubbin' Epic, almost 11:15. Nice time for Andrew to turn it off. If it goes to 11:16.
Yeah, we have 1 minute here.
You're getting to know me too well, guys. Oh,
thank you. That's how I roll. Thank you so much. Thank you all of you guys for great. I see you guys tweeting things out and retweeting my stuff and tweeting on your own about our live streams during the day. I couldn't tell you more how much I appreciate that. I always try to retweet them as well. And again, if you have your own content, tweet at us, tag us in your tweet, and I'll try to do my best to retweet it.
That's how I roll. It was so good to see you. I was wondering about you. I'm like I say, I know things go on. I was sometimes worried. Sometimes if some aren't for a while, we're like, I hope everything is okay.
Yeah,
and
we
stuff
start
like
to
that.
worry, humanly worried.
Yes, exactly.
Okay.
You know,
it's interesting how it goes like that.
It's just good to see you. I'm glad you came by. You're another one that pretty much from the beginning, you know, we've known. So
definitely,
I'm our alumni group.
Yes.
Flubbin' Epic, it's been so amazing. Everybody take care of yourselves. Love you lots. Cheers, keep creating. You guys are unbelievable people, unbelievable creators. And thank you for giving us a chance to be closer with you guys.
And tomorrow is June 1st, the Good Cell Life's birthday. So let's start
That's
with that
right.
tomorrow.
Thank God you got a good memory.
See you
Take care,
tomorrow.
guys.
Bye.
Love you all. Cheers and keep creating. Bye now.